Is on marriages, and specifically we are asking you, does the young generation believe in marriage? Does the young generation believe in marriage? And we'll be joined by young people right here in studio so that we can get to hear from them, get to hear their opinions on marriage. So we'll have Miriam Atieno, who's a journalism student. We'll have Eliud Ochieng, who's also a journalism student, and Gloria V. Omondi, who's a journalism student as well. And then we'll be having Emma Carito, who's a family pastor, counseling psychologist, and mental health advocate as well. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that conversation so that we get to hear from the younger people. Are they still, or rather, do they still believe in marriage? That is the question that we will be speaking around. Marie, how are you doing this morning, and what's your take on that? Do you feel like the younger people still believe in marriage as much as people used to believe in marriage back in the days?
A very interesting question. I think there's some who do, but I think the dynamics of relationships have changed over time, you know, in the sense of people can get in and get out anytime. So they go in with the mindset of, if it's not working for me, I'm out. But, you know, previously it was like you sweat it out until it works, you know? And so, yeah, I think there's a section of the young people who still believe in it, but a majority for sure have actually, you know, lost faith in what marriage is. But yeah, so that conversation will actually shed light, I want to believe, on what people think and what should be done. But marriage is a beautiful thing with the right person, that is, as always. So thank you, Vivian. And a very good morning from wherever you are joining us. My name is Marie Yambo, and I'll be bringing you up to speed with what is happening and as far as the news is concerned. And yesterday, Victor and Vivian, Kenya was marking the World Remembrance. It's called the World Day of Remembrance of Crash Victims. We are going into the festive season, but the numbers don't look very good in the sense of the fatalities that Kenya has actually recorded so far, or the country has recorded so far. 3,890 people have died by November of 2025. So we are not yet in December. So you can imagine, 3,000 people, it's unimaginable. You could actually put like how many buses or aeroplanes, for that matter, would be crashing. And it looks like they're just numbers, you know, and not necessarily individuals, people who have lost their family members, you know, their breadwinners and all that. So that's a story that we'll be covering for you this morning. But let's begin in Marsabit, where President William Ruto on Sunday led celebrations marking 60 years of the African Inland Church, AIC, Loglogo in Marsabit County, using the occasion to outline new measures aimed at strengthening the country's education and health sectors. Addressing thousands of faithful, the president reaffirmed his administration's commitment to ensuring that every child in Kenya has access to quality education, saying no learner should miss school due to lack of facilities or teachers. At Loglogo, Marsabit County, thousands of faithful turned up as President William Ruto joined the African Inland Church in celebrating 6 decades of service in the region. In his address, the president reaffirmed his government's pledge to ensure that no child in Kenya misses out on education.
Hii ugonjwa ya hakuna dawa lazima tumalize. We must never have any child in Kenya ati amekosa nafasi ya kusoma.
Ruto said each constituency continues to receive not less than 180 million shillings every year through the Constituency Development Fund to build classrooms, provide learning materials, and fund bursaries. He added that the government has constructed 23,000 new classrooms in the last 3 years and hired 76,000 teachers. The president announced plans to recruit more teachers in the next month.
Tunaajiri walimu wengine 20,000 in the next 1 month, ili tuwe na walimu 1,100.
On healthcare, the head of state issued what he called a final warning over medicine shortages in public hospitals. He directed the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, KEMSA, to adopt a new direct delivery system where drugs are delivered directly from Nairobi to healthcare facilities.
Na mzuri huyu mtu ya KEMSA huyu wako ni mtu ya hapa. Nimemwambia atumie teknolojia. Nimemwambia dawa ikitoka kwa store ya KEMSA isiende Marsabit. Atikwenda kwa store ya Marsabit. Ikuje kutoka Nairobi mpaka Loglogo. Na ile ya Loyangalani iende Loyangalani.
The president also praised the African Inland Church for its role in promoting education, healthcare, and community development in northern Kenya. The Orange Democratic Movement has demanded the implementation of the 10-point agenda agreed between it and the United Democratic Alliance, warning that not honoring the deal would be a sign of disrespect to former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. The calls were made by Deputy Party Leader Godfrey Ososi, that is, Abdul Somad Nasir and others, while in an interdenominational service in Kilifi County. ODM Party Leader Oburu Odinga, Secretary General Edwin Sifuna and Hassan Joho are among the leaders who didn't show up on the third day and final day of the ODM 20th anniversary celebrations.
The Orange Democratic Movement crowns its three-day 20th anniversary celebrations at the coast with an interdenominational service on Sunday in Kilifi Town. With the by-elections barely a fortnight away, the ODM leaders seized the chance to campaign for their Magarini parliamentary candidate, Harrison Kombe. Led by deputy party leaders Abdul Somad Nasir, Godfrey Ososi, and Simba Arati, and chairperson Gladys Wanga, the ODM leaders appeared to heal the emerging rift in the party, embracing dialogue to cement unity.
Tunaweza kutofautiana kwa mawazo. Huyu aseme nataka hivi, mwingine aseme nataka hivi. Lakini mimi ile ambayo imenifurahisha, kila viongozi ndani ya chama wamesema watakuwa wa mwisho kuachia chama ya baba ianguke chini. Kwa hivyo wote wanataka chama ikae pamoja.
Kama wale ambao kwamba ni viongozi wa sasa, kuhakikisha ya kwa kila ndege yametulia. Na hatuwezi kutuliza ndege ikiwa sasa tunaona ndege wanatawanyika, ndio mwanzo tunaanza kutafuta mawe kuwatupia wale ndege.
This is after Mombasa lawmaker Zamza Mohammed had dared Secretary General Edwin Sifuna to resign from the party. Sifuna was, however, not present at the event. ODM leader Oburu Odinga and Hassan Joho were also absent.
Sisi tunamwambia Sifuna, wewe kama hutaki kukaa kwa chama, wewe shika njia uende. Lakini huwezi kututoa sisi ndani ya chama. Wapole tutakaa na chama cha ODM.
Osotsi took the Kenya Kwanza administration to task over the 10-point agenda agreed between ODM and UDA, saying it will determine ODM's future engagement with the government.
Bila kutekeleza yale matarajio ya baba Raila Odinga, we will be disrespecting our leader, and I'm sure baba will turn in the grave. Ask him, wale watu niliwacha, mbona watetei wananchi wa Kenya?
They, however, insisted that ODM will form the next government on its own or through a coalition.
On the option ni yule wakati baba ameshinda, yeye amepewa watermelon, akaekwa akakuwa vice. On the option is the person who fought with us 2007, 2008 and made sure that baba became the Prime Minister of the Republic of Kenya. That is the question I'm putting to the audience. Let us make a best decision.
Giverson Minor in Kilifi County.
DAP party leader Rigathi Gachagua has rallied the people of Mbeere North in Embu County to support Newton Kariuki as their next member of parliament in the upcoming by-election. Rigathi led other opposition leaders in campaigning for the Democratic Party's candidate, urging the electorate to defy the ruling UDA party. Similarly, UDA bigwigs led by Public Service Cabinet Secretary camped in various towns in Mbeere North to popularize their candidate Leo Wamuthende. Meanwhile, UDA leaders allied to Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki has warned that the ODM allies that the position of Deputy President will be part of negotiations between the two factions of the broad-based government.
With less than a fortnight to the Mbeere North parliamentary by-election, the United Opposition combed various towns in Embu County, popularizing their candidate Newton Kariuki.
Nani atashinda? The contest is simple. Kwa sababu huyu kijana ameletwa na hiyo kijana hana makosa, ni mtoto wetu. Tutamsaidia huko mbele tukiunda serikali. That boy, there is no problem. Anatumika tu, hata hana kura ya hapa Mbeere. Utapigia kura mtu na mnangani hawezi jipigia.
Firstborn wa kwanza wa United Opposition anazaliwa mlima huu hapa Mbeere North.
Similarly, UDA bigwigs led by Public Service Cabinet Secretary Geoffrey Roku camped in various towns in Mbeere North to popularize their candidate Leo Wamuthende.
Tumeamua kauli moja, tutakaa ndani ya serikali ili tuendelee kupata matunda ya serikali. Watazungumzwa mbele. Watazungumzwa mbele.
Elsewhere in Nandi County, UDA leaders allied to Deputy President Professor Kithure Kindiki, led by area Senator Samson Cherargei, warned ODM to keep off the position of Deputy President in their negotiations for 2027 elections.
Niliona watu wengine wakiongea wakisema ati in case tukienda negotiation na broad base, sisi tuko broad base, lakini kuna viti mbili hatuwezi ongelea kwa coalition, President William Ruto na Professor Kithure Kindiki. I want to tell them waombe zile viti vingine mpaka ya mzee mitaa.
Tusiumize hiyo bidii ambayo rais ameweka kuleta taifa pamoja. Na mambo ya uko mbele, ule anajua peke yake ni Mwenyezi Mungu, hakuna mtu anajua.
And in Kitui County, Wiper leaders led by area Senator Enoch Wambua dismissed President William Ruto's recent development tour of Ukambani as a failed mission that yielded no political traction for the Kenya Kwanza administration.
Saa ile mnapigania haki yenu, msiwe na uoga, msiogope, kwa sababu mkiogopa, hiyo sio roho ya Mungu, hiyo ni roho ya mtu mwingine ajulikane ni nani.
Meanwhile, in Kakamega County, DAPK's Malava parliamentary candidate Seth Panyako now claims the government is plotting to use police officers to rig the upcoming by-election on November 27th in favor of the UDA candidate.
Na askari waine watakuwa nje ya polling center. Kazi ya hawa askari ine ambao watakuwa nje ya polling center ni kuungana na hawa gunzi ambao wanatrainia pale Tende Primary School na wanalala Tende Second School kuleta mayhem, kupika wananchi ambao wanataka kwenda kupiga kura asubuhi, kuwanyang'anya vitambulisho na kuleta fujo katika maeneo ya kupiga kura.
Kishukiwa Shero reporting there. National Transport and Safety Authority, NTSA, has raised the alarm over rising numbers of road accident fatalities, with those involving pedestrians being the highest at 1,460 out of the total 3,890 fatalities recorded from January to November. During the national commemoration of World Day of Remembrance of Crash Victims, Director of Road Safety, National Transport and Safety Authority, Andrew Kiplagat, said that through the county transport and safety committees, they have started integrating road safety into development plans to guide, among others, construction of pedestrian ways and the installation of signage showing black spots. Opicho Chemtai with the details.
In Eldoret
great city, Uasin Gishu County, hundreds of Kenyans from all walks of life joined in the road safety sensitization walk. From Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, they walked across the city to the final destination at Tax Center grounds in commemoration of the World Day of Remembrance of Crash Victims. One after the other, road crash survivors took to the podium, narrating the ordeal that changed their lives completely.
I was normal, I was walking well, I was laughing. Kama saa hii vile mnaniona hivi, huwezi ona meno yangu, maana I can't laugh. Mdomo upande hii, mpaka saa hii huwa imefura.
My dad was confused, though he was conscious, but to see his brother dead and his son unconscious.
National Transport and Safety Authority in turn raised an alarm of the rising numbers of road accident fatalities recorded from January this year as compared with the last year within the same period.
We have lost so far over 4,100 Kenyans who didn't deserve to lose their lives. And in this particular region, the Uasin Gishu, it contributes about 3% of these statistics. If you look at those numbers, majority of those we are losing, about 30% or thereabouts, are pedestrians.
Actually, it gives us a worry that we are not seeing a reduction. If you come to MTRH emergency, almost 60% of the patients who are admitted there, almost above 40% of referrals which we receive in MTRH, they are trauma cases.
So we also want the hospitals to be giving the details of those people who succumb to death after the accident, so that we have the proper numbers.
NTSA Director of Road Safety, Andrew Kiplagat, noted that plans are underway to strengthen collaboration among sectors involved in road safety and scale up sensitization programs to help curb road carnage.
Let's look at our behaviors. Where do we walk? Yeah, are we visible to motorists? Are we risking in where we walk? If we are pillion passengers, if we are motorcycle riders, are we carrying one as guided by law?
As more people get onto the road, the carelessness tends to increase. That's why we'll see that in most urban centers, we get more accidents as opposed to rural areas where there are very few vehicles.
In Mombasa County, Disaster Management Chief Officer Ibrahim Basafar announced tougher road safety measures to curb road accidents ahead of the December holidays.
Mombasa pia tuko sasa na speed cameras. So tutaanzisha speed cameras hii mfumo na tutaanzisha alcohol blow na tutaanza kushika zile gari ambazo ziko unroadworthy.
The same script was replicated in Kakamega County, with the residents being challenged to be more cautious on the road.
We're going to try our best to ensure that we are going to reduce fatalities, because we had decided to do it in Kakamega because Kakamega was the highest.
As Kenya join in commemorating World Day of Remembrance of Crashed Victims, more emphasis has been put on collective responsibility that will ensure reduction of road accidents being witnessed across the country. Opicho Chemtai reporting from Eldoret, Uasin Gishu County.
Thank you, Opicho Chemtai. Now let's look at sports, where South Africa swept past Kenyans 22-0 to clinch the 12th Rugby Africa Women's Sevens crown in yesterday's finals at the RFUA grounds in Nairobi, extending a dominant continental reign and completing the tournament without conceding a single point in a familiar script and a repeat of the 2023 and 2024 finals. The Springbok women once again shut the door on the Kenyan Lionesses, whose bid for home soil glory never quite caught flame. For South Africa, the win sealed their passage into the HSBC 7 Series Division 3, the challenger pathway that offers promotion towards the global second tier. Kenya, already competing in that second division, was chasing pride and a statement victory. But the Springboks' defensive steel and clinical finishing kept the hosts at bay from start to finish. With a win, South Africa now books its place in the 8-team Division 3 Challenger event set for Dubai in January. Now, Uganda Cranes, whom the Kenyan Lionesses had beaten in the semi-finals, won the bronze with a 38-12 defeat of Madagascar.
They actually came good, you know, they know that they had to win this game to secure their 12th win. We really wanted to do this because we were like in our home ground. We promised our families, our fans who we love so much. But I guess it was not the day again, you know. We will come back strong. Now we know what we are going to work on because this, well, we are building it as our match heading to Division 2. Now we know where we want to like do some few touches with the technical team, and I know it will be good for the end of the day.
For Kenya, we had already qualified for 7-2. So for us, it was just working out our combinations, seeing who can play with who, where, and when. So for us, I think generally I can say we've achieved our targets, and I'm proud of the ladies' efforts.
I think we as a team, we really pride ourselves on defense, you know, because defense does not require talent, it requires work ethic, and you could see that the girls really showed that they care for each other. But I think we really closed the space nicely, and that is how we really kept them from getting into our 22.
Well, that's where we put a cap on the news this morning. Thank you so much, as always, for your time and your company. My name is Maria Mbwen. Be sure to stay tuned for more news updates later on in the day.
Great. Welcome back. It's now time for us to get into the political segment, being the beautiful Monday, 17th of November, 2025. Yes, as I said, a lot happened over the weekend and politics played center stage. That is where I want us to pick it from. Good morning and welcome to the program. My name is Victor Lo. Please follow me at Victor Lo at KBC Channel 1 and let's have a chat. Watu Mombasa, how was it over there? I know it was a busy weekend for you. Watu Mombasa, please talk to us and tell us how are things. All right, so my guests are already on set. I'll introduce them shortly. But let me start with the front page of the Daily Nation and just take you through what's in the paper here. The war within, that's on the front page of the Daily Nation. The war within, there you have it. The war within. The Daily Nation says that Winnie Odinga's hard tackle on Oburu Oginga during ODM Gala reveals family tensions. That is as per the Daily Nation. That Winnie's hard tackle on Oburu during ODM Gala reveals family tension. Raila's daughter demands a national delegates convention to pick party leaders. That is what is on the front page of the Daily Nation. And let me quote what Winnie said, that the broad-based relationship is complicated. Those managing it now, are they capable? Because it's only one, Baba Raila Odinga, who could manage it. That is Winnie. And what did Oburu say? It's Raila who left us in the broad-based government. If it comes to 2027, we shall look at the best person to talk with or go it alone. So it's, as per the Daily Nation, it's war within. So it's more of a dispute with the Ayala MP Winnie Odinga, the daughter of former Prime Minister Raila Odinga. On Saturday, questioned the competence of her uncle, Dr. Oburu Oginga, to lead ODM, even as she alleged a plot to quote-unquote sell the party, exposing simmering differences that could threaten the Orange Party's existence. All right, I'll come back to that later on. It's 7,000 ghost learners drain 1 billion shillings of public funds annually. Ghost learners. This is interesting. Okay, we no longer have ghost workers, we have ghost learners. Probably there are ghost schools, okay, registered with fake accounts and fake names. That is 87,000. That's a very big number. Flying confins, that's old beat up police choppers are a disaster in waiting. I think we've seen a couple of videos going around where one of the police choppers, yet we need to confirm this. But yes, something has to be done about this. All right, so let me come back and introduce my guest, Professor Milon Mutisia, who is a development expert. He's also political commentator and educationist as well. Prof, good morning.
Good morning, Victor.
You're well?
Well, KBC.
Good to see you. Had guests in the Ukambani region.
We had the president there. It was
a very busy moment for you people.
4 days, actually.
4 days.
Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And Saturday was one of the biggest. We had one of the biggest gathering in Kitui. Kitui State Lodge.
Yes.
Where we gathered 12,000. Kamba people, leaders, grassroots leaders, to have a conversation with the president, and it went up very well.
What was the agenda? What was the conversation?
The president had 3 items, actually. One was for the president to tell us where he has taken us from 2022 to where we are.
Yes.
What place the Kamba community have in this formation.
Yes.
And where he's taking us between now and 2027. And he enumerated his, the progress that he's made for this country, his agenda for the people of Kenya, and for the people of Ukambani, the projects that he had committed in his better plan, the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, and the blueprints that he signed with the Ukambani people. And of course, Wednesday he was in Makueni, launched a number of projects, roads, bridges, housing, and a number of other projects. On Thursday, he was in Kitui, did the same thing. On Friday, he was in Machakos, he did the same thing. And on Saturday, we were in Kitui, closer to Kalonzo Musyoka's, home turf, where he caused the shot.
That must have been a bucket. You had a full basket full of goodies. Prof.
Well, some of the things that we did with the president then, projects that have stalled over the last 60 years, like the key road networks that he launched, in Makueni, Machakos, and Kitui. The key roads are roads that we've talked about for the last 60 years. We use, politicians use these road networks, these, undone roads, to solicit for votes, committing to do something in 5 years. But then it has become a cycle. Okay. And we told him, because we are the leaders who developed the blueprints, economic blueprints for the region. We told him that it would be very difficult for us to even talk to the people in 2027 if these key projects are not done. And, in a meeting in August, he committed funds. He called the key ministries, the CSEs, and allocated funds to these key projects, which to us will be instrumental moving forward.
Thank you.
Of course, growing the economy of the region.
We'll get back to that because I really need to get to understand why new projects, and yet we have got old projects that need to be completed. All right, Sam Kimani is a public policy analyst joining me after a very long time. Hey, Sam. Where did you go to?
I've been around.
Yeah, some good things happening out there, seemingly.
Tuko tu. Unajua sisi wa Kikuyu, we have a saying.
Yes.
If you ask us, we just tell you no kugeria mani. I'll teach you what that means later once we leave here. Simply, it loosely translates to, we are just in between there trying to fight our small battles.
Okay, the director says, what does that mean?
That is what I'm telling you. So if you ask me after we meet after long, I'll still tell you, tuko tu hapo tu.
Tuko tu.
Tuko
all right,
tu.
hata si pia tuko tu hapo. Yeah, we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Got the fear of missing out? Want to keep up with all the latest entertainment news and latest celebrity gossip? From the latest rumors to popping events to the newest fashion trends, here is where you get all the tea or juice when it comes to entertainment, and you get it served on time. All that and so much more on Grapevine every single Monday only on KBC Channel 1. Remember, if you did not see it on Grapevine, then it most probably never happened.
Are you a talented artist? Or are you passionate about a topic you want to discuss? But money can be very hard to find for an upcoming artist. Don't worry, Studio Mashinani has got your back. Sign up on ajira.co.ke to book a session with your music and video producers across the country. Work on your music, jingles, spoken words, and even podcasts to realize your dream. All for free. Studio Mashinani, Radani Talent.
So let me start with the front page of the Standard. Sam?
Yes.
Front page. Just give us the front page. What does it say?
Raila reincarnates. The daughter is there. Yeah, Winnie Odinga. I wouldn't have put it better.
Just give us the details.
Traditionally, our father is inherited by the son. But Odinga got the rare honor of being inherited by the daughter. So they are telling us that Winnie Odinga has burst onto the national stage, igniting a succession battle that could redefine, or fracture the Odinga political empire. Her fiery debate at ODM's 20th anniversary in Mombasa energized supporters and unsettled rivals, signaling her intent to shape a party already split by competing camps. With Raila gone, ODM faces its most volatile moment in decades, and an aging Oburu at the helm, rising functional tensions, and a bold new contender challenging the old order.
Yeah.
Winnie next moves could determine the party's future.
More details on that, please. Go ahead.
Now, this is what I think about Winnie Odinga. Winnie Odinga is a daughter who had the honor of walking side by side by his father.
Yes.
She knew his mind. Odinga, in his nature, liked to talk so much about that which is important to him, especially to people closer to him. That is why you hear everybody will tell you what Raila told them when they were together, because that was the nature of the man. The danger with that is that you can't tell who is lying and who is not. And I think that is why, out of wisdom, Sifuna told them, let us ignore what we all were told in private. Why can't we agree on what was said in public? Because it is difficult to harmonize that which was said in public to various people, and there was no witness. But then, if there is any person who can claim to know the heart of the father, it's the daughter. She walked with him. At one point, she decided to be the father's PA. Those who campaigned for Raila Odinga in 2022, I was in Azimio and I was part of the campaign. You couldn't have met a more fierce person than Winnie Odinga. She knew when the father was tired, and she could push you off. When the father was tired and she decided that the father had to rest, that was it. You couldn't be allowed anywhere closer to Mzee to disturb him after Winnie decides Mzee should rest. So she knew Baba very well. when she fights, she's not fighting for the sake of it. She's fighting to preserve that which was dearest to her father, a behemoth he built for 20 years. The only party in Kenya that has that history. KANU may have lasted longer, but it is understandable why it did. But since the inception of multi-party politics in Kenya, we can talk of Raila Odinga's party as the only party that has stood the test of time. 20 good years. And if Raila was still around, the party would still be revving strongly. So Winnie is fighting to preserve that which the father has left behind, even when forces of nature tell us that it should be time to wrap up what is left and sing of a beautiful party that was and move on, because parties in Kenya have a history of dying immediately the founder dies. They either die with the founder or die with his accession to presidency. Because the latter never happened, Winnie is trying to stop ODM from going down the famous route that all the other parties have followed. That was ukikata mti mkuu ndege waangamia. She's trying to make sure that the birds that benefited from this tree hawataangamia because she's going to step in. The danger with that is that now there is the old order. The Wazes who feel she's too young to take the baton. Luckily for her, you could tell the language was similar to that of Babu Owino, Sifuna. She has, in my opinion, she has strong soldiers by her side who will ensure that she rises to the throne.
What is your opinion? Because now if it's about defying the world order and age, she's a member of parliament.
She is.
And, you know, running ODM requires a lot of the software and the hardware itself. And the main body here is the Orange Party, and the orange as a fruit, loosely put. But then now, you've correctly put it that she knows the dad, and she knows how Raila Odinga used to run the party. Certain people might not be so comfortable with her running the party. For a reason or two. But what do you think?
Parties are run, or how famous a party is depends on how closely the party listens to the people. And how closely is the party leader aligned with the aspirations of the people he or she seeks to lead. Now, those who remain loyal to ODM know very well that ODM is a fighter for democracy. They also know that for the years ODM has been in existence, quite a number of those years, the current regime has been very hard on ODM. They are not friends of ODM. Now, those purporting to be friends of the current regime and trying to drag ODM into it will find it very rough. But then it depends. What does the people of Nyanza want? Do they want to remain in broad-based government? Do they want to go back to agitating for rights and democracy as ODM has always done? And who will be able to sing the song in the people's mind?
Just leave it at that. Prof, can you answer that question? Who will?
I like the way Sam has put it. There are a number of things that we have observed over the last few weeks since Baba left. Number one, of course, we did expect that there was going to be a big challenge in sort of keeping people together within the party, because Baba Raila Odinga was the gel that kept all these people together. And what Baba said was law in any conversation that took place in this country. And that is why he remains and remains the most respected politician and leader in this country, and was able to sustain the foundation of ODM since 2005, more than any other party that we've ever seen in this country, post multipartyism. Now, we have seen, we did see what happened in Mombasa. We did see, the different functions which we have seen over the last several days of a younger generation that is more abrasive, more ambitious, and wants to take the party to the next level. But there's also the more experienced and, in quotes, the old order, that, the leaders that were paraded there, party leaders, deputy party leaders, and so on and so forth, would sort of want to continue doing what Raila Odinga was doing for the party. For this process, of transformation to be successful, my own proposal is that, of course, you cannot change things instantly. You need to do it progressively.
Yes.
You need to start bringing in these young leaders in the party to serious positions, because there must be intergenerational change if ODM is to stand for the next 20 years. Now, there are those people who are saying that, we are in broad-based. There are those who are saying that they are not in broad-based.
Yes.
At the end of the day, we know that there's a document that was signed. And I think I like Sifuna because he refers to that document, that it was publicly signed with a 10-point agenda of what they should do together with government, so that the engagement is sustained until 2027. There are those, of course, who will say that it was about Baba. It was not about everybody else. But, as a government, William Ruto is keen in ensuring a few things. Number one, ensuring that he works with ODM until 2027 and beyond, because you can see the conversation that is taking place. Number two is that if ODM weakens, the rest of the other parties out there, and especially UDA and the party that is around the president, and of course the other parties, with the united opposition, will gain, because any fall in numbers, any fall in commitment of ODM sort of dyads means that they are going to fall over to other people.
All right, I forgot something.
And finally, even before you come in with that something, is that, I like the way some says that, no, we are not there. Because I understand that, as he's put it very clearly, that he was part and parcel of the technical team that was driving the agenda of Azimio.
Yes.
And I'm happy because I'm sitting next to him, because I was now on the other side of the technical team of Kenya Kwanza that was crafting everything that our president is implementing today. Now, we need to have a conversation and agree on what are the truths and what are the lies that are being peddled around by people who want to show us that they know far much better what Baba wants, and they understand far much better where the government of Kenya is heading to.
Okay. What do you have on the front page of the Star, before I forget?
Cheap imports killing Kenya's Juakali sector.
All right.
I think that's the main title. China is the main source of imports into the country. Yeah, certainly I think this is a challenge that we are facing as a country.
Okay.
Why this is the case is because of the weak industrial base that we have in this country. Because of the cost of production. Our cost of production locally and the quality of what we produce is low. The cost is high, the quality is low, and the imports that we're getting outside the country are far much of better quality and cheaper. And they fit with they address the needs that we have as a country. Now, this is a challenge, and this is something that we've discussed here several times, that this country cannot move forward if we are not able to produce. We cannot live, pretend to be working towards competing with the best of the world, or these other countries up there, if we are only consumers. We sit here and consume what we don't produce. Instead of producing for ourselves.
We depend more on
correct. And this is what the president has been saying, that we cannot produce for ourselves because we don't have enough energy. The energy that Kenya produces is only 2,300 megawatts, which is a small fraction of what a city in an advanced country produces and consumes. He made a fund when he was in Qatar, saying that he was in the US during this official visit when Biden was the president, said that they were there, Kimbelembele, talking about, setting up data centers for artificial intelligence. And then he was told that, one data center consumes 1,000 megawatts, which then means that if we went forward with that agenda, it means that we are going to switch off 50% of the country to power one data center in this country. Now, that is where we're moving to. All this, industries that we're talking about, all these juakalis now that we're talking about, will have to move to that level of utilizing technology, especially AI, to produce what the Kenyans will need, not just today, but in the future. Now, for that to happen, we need to do what he has said, and I saw that he has it also on the first page of the Star. One, of course, is energy. 1.5 trillion shillings is required so that we can produce 10,000 megawatts of energy, so that now we can power the industrial base of this country, especially the Juakali, so that now we can also move forward to exporting to the region and importing less from China and the UAE. Number two is the infrastructure fund, which I saw another 1.5 trillion shillings. Because once you produce energy and once you build your bases, then you need to set up quality or state-of-the-art infrastructure, which then will be allow us to move our produce or our products, from one point to the other point. Today, as I said, it was in Makueni. There is one road that we have talked about. Since I was born, it was started, it was forgotten, it was started again, 2 kilometers, and then that was it. We had a conversation and said that if we are going to talk about moving Kenya to the level of a first world country, then we cannot keep on talking about a Mali-Ukia road in Makueni County. You need to ensure that you allocate funds for this road so that by 2027, that road is done. It connects Makueni, Kajiado, Kitui, and Machakos. You see? Now he sat down there and said, let me commit 20 kilometers now. I'll commit the other 23 kilometers in the next budget cycle. Now that is what is going to ensure that we do not just keep on importing cheap products from outside the country, but that will enable us build our Juakali sector and our industries around what we need as a country and around what we can export to the region, Eastern African region, but also to Africa.
Okay, let's come back. Is the Orange Party, or is the orange ripe, sour, or sweet? Some, based on what happened, was it an anticlimax of what we saw in Mombasa? And the question that I want to ask all of you, the question is the orange ripe, sour, or sweet?
Bittersweet. It's a mixture of both.
Okay.
Let me explain.
Go ahead.
What we had over the weekend will be one of two things. A very glamorous burial of ODM or a rebirth of ODM. The leaders will decide what it is. It was clear that they are not reading from the same script. A party will always have its internal differences, but these differences must not grow to a point of breaking it. Now, the visible differences will either build the party, because what doesn't kill you builds you, or it will kill the party. In this sense, can they find a common ground on which to operate? The party will be reborn and will continue growing. For now, they have an advantage of having a sage-like leader in the name of Oburu Odinga. Very wise, in my opinion. He knows how to quell the fire, and he knows how to punch where necessary. If he realizes that you are becoming too much, he does not hit you with a velvet. He does it bare knuckle. You remember what he told those who've already been appointed by the government. He told them, hey, hold on, you are not even members of ODM. You resigned before you joined your cabinet positions. So could you speak for your boss and let the party speak for itself? You need a leader who can do that. And the younger ones must know that old leaders may not be able to run, but in their walking, they'll cover a longer distance than the running younger ones, because in running, you are likely to stumble and fall. So they must let Oburu Odinga to lead the party the best way he knows how. If they must correct him, they must do so with realization that the party could not have fallen in the best or in a better hands, because Raila Odinga is an elder brother to the fallen great man. And if you listen to Oburu Odinga, you will, in my opinion, get a feeling that Raila Odinga used to consult the old man so much.
Yes.
Because the language is more or less the same, only that, in my opinion, Oburu Odinga is more candid. He does not leave you guessing. Raila Odinga had a way of operating where he does not hit you.
That's why he's called a guambo.
And he does that. By the way, that is why they call him Enigma.
Exactly.
You had to interpret, not to read. He always made sure that he was walking in between lines. So it was you to tell where he was. Unfortunately, if you misread him, that was your end politically. But Oburu seems to be more candid. Oburu seems to call white, white, black, black, and he has no grays. So, in my opinion, he's reading the party in the right direction. Now, what must be, the party must be protected from the parasites who've always relied on the party for growth. Because when a tree falls, parasites jumps very fast to a living one for their survival. And they're the ones you hear speaking like they are more UDA than they are all of ODM. We were left in broad-based government. Nobody can get us out here because they have gotten a new host. Now, the danger with that is that now their loyalty is no longer to the great man who just left us. They have shifted their loyalty very fast because they're about survival.
That begs the question of loyalty to the party or to the party leader.
Now, fidelity must be to the party.
Yes.
ODM. But fidelity, again, must be to the leader. Because you can't claim to be loyal to a party and you are not loyal to the leader.
But where's the confusion coming from? I mean, Prof, based on even from what we saw, because it was, people would say that it's a democratic party. I mean, everybody would want to say whatever they wanted. But something that came out is that they had their own opinion from whichever angle you look at it, and that actually opened up to say that it was Raila Odinga who was actually controlling the voices, that however much they wanted to speak, but there was a central point of communication that you, Prof, you want to speak, but you think of Raila Odinga has not spoken, what is he going to say? But right now it's free for all.
No, I just want to go back to what my fellow panelists have said. Fidelity should be to the party. In an ideal situation, that should be the case. But parties in Kenya operate differently. Instead of having that fidelity with the party, to which you are a member of, our fidelity is with the party leader. You see, because the party leader is the party, but the party is not the party leader. So the party leader will determine how far you can go within the ranks in that party. And so, like in my case, if you go to Kambani, it is about Kalonzo Musyoka and then Wiper. So you must support Kalonzo Musyoka first, not the party. You see? Which is why most of these parties die. Because instead of keeping your fidelity with the party, which can live with us for many years, now you focus on that leader who is going to say, Sam, Tosha. And then, when that Sam Tosha is not there, Sam, even with that fidelity in the party, vanishes, and that's it. And so the challenge to that we face is the way our parties are run. However, I want to go back to the parasitic problem that we have. You see, parties and politics are about personal interest. In this country, it is not about what you're going to do to the people. That is what to tell the people. But in boardrooms where he sat when they were crafting this as meal, it was about he must win, not he must deliver to the people. And I've seen this. I've seen it in my own party, where it is about first winning and then thinking about the people. You see? So what we are looking at now is there are two possibilities about ODM. That ODM is going to survive or ODM is going to weaken or die.
Based on the party or the leader? Because there's something you put there.
No, based on the party, because now the party are the people. And the people are fighting.
What about the leader?
The leader
there's a big question.
The leader that we have today. You see, the beauty of what we have had before, before Baba left, is that you had a father figure who was respected across, and what he said was final. And people across knew that there was Baba Raila Amolo Odinga. If you go to Kambani, we knew. When he landed, we knew that man. You see? Just like we know Kalonzo Musyoka. Okay? Now, with new faces, there's that disconnection. There's a disconnect between what people are used to and what we have up there. Although we know that Oburu was the architect behind all the successes, or most of the successes, that his brother achieved in this party.
Yeah.
He was consulted. He was actually the technical brain behind whatever happened out there. And that is why he is more bare knuckle. He tells you as it is, because him is a technical person more than being a politician. Now, Raila is a father, was a father, and he would massage the egos of all of us. He will confuse everybody. And perhaps that is why, when you start in those boardrooms, he will tell everybody their own story based on what he believed will fit them most. And this confusion that we see around is that he told everybody something different. You know, he told me something. He told the other person something.
Yeah.
You know,
Yes.
he will tell you, as my brother did say, he will sit down and tell you the history of Mount Kenya people. The way he told it, nobody else in this country would do that. If he came to Ukambani, he would tell you about all those people who were there in the 1940s, our historical sort of development and trends, something that we Kambas could not even articulate, you know. Now that connecting with people is something that we're going to miss, because that's about a person. It is not about the party itself.
I mean,
but now finally,
yes,
that part of ODM weakening is an opportunity for other parties. You know, like now Kenya Kwanza, when you listen to some of the politicians, they have come out there and they're saying that now it is not bittersweet, maybe, it is one slice at a time. And that one slice is going to be consumed by someone else. I don't know how many slices are going to come out, but we are ready to consume as many of these slices as possible before we get to 2027.
Okay. I mean, when you look at how leaders were speaking there, again, it was either they wanted to push an agenda of the party or an agenda of an individual. Sam, what would you pick from there?
Right. There were those who feel that ODM needs time to rebuild, to recover from the loss, and take time and rebuild. There are those who feel we are already somewhere.
So we are okay.
Even in our rebuilding, we should first of all.
But do they really care who is going to be the party leader? Or their main concern is ODM is
and that is why I said, ODM must be more wary of the enemies within than the enemies without. And unfortunately, the enemies within are not enemies because they hate ODM. They are the most beneficiaries of ODM. But then in that benefiting, it has taken them to the highest positions one could think of in politics. And now, as Prof says, part of politics is preservation of self-interest. Self-interest is, for somebody who's been appointed a CS, self-interest is to remain a CS. And hopefully even after 2027. Now, any decision that is made that might jeopardize that position is a decision that this person is bound to resist. Not because he has any intentions to kill the party, but because of self-preservation. Now, those are enemies who are friends. Enemies in the sense that in preservation of self, they might hurt the party. But then the party must strategize again with realization that these are part and parcel of the party. People like Bandi are as old as ODM and are as important as the party itself because they have been at the helm of that party for a very long time. So then they won't be scheming out of hatred, they would be scheming out of preservations and the thought of what is right for the people. Because again, the argument makes a lot of sense, though not necessarily the best. Why should you leave the government to go and fight to form a government? Doesn't make any sense. But then some stupid political processes are important for growth. Because if you stay at a place where your people might not like it, then you risk you risk death of the party. So then, if ODM must live beyond where Raila Odinga has left it, it needs somebody who can listen to all the voices, and as Prof is saying, and bring all of them together and have a final word on it and tell them, hey, you are put there by Baba. You are not put there by mistake. You did not betray us to get those positions you have. Baba gifted you the positions.
Okay.
So we understand. But then as a party, we have to do this. Now, harmonization of all those voices is what will preserve the party. And that is why, in my opinion, the younger ones must know they will not get a better leader than Oburu Odinga.
Let's do this. Because you're talking about orange. I don't know whether orange and tea can mix. I don't know how it will taste. But let's try.
Why don't we try?
Let's try. Let's call for a tea break. We'll be right back.
We could have made it lemon.
Wewe. Kule jikoni umeachia nani?
Sasa zingine napumzikanga hiyo moshi kidogo.
Itabidi uondoke nilete mtule anaezana na mambo ya moshi.
Hiyo moshi ni yangu mama. Hiyo moshi awawezani nai.
Leo uko smarti. Nilionga azumbui. Niko na sawati yako.
Kwa kazi yako nani yako?
Kazi yangu inakuhusu nini?
Uko na mchezo za kitoto mpaka zani utoto imekuingia.
Ndio nimekampa.
Watu wana missing you, singing English.
Chakula iko aje kwani unaniona?
I was in that race, I got tired.
Lakini bado mimi ni mlembo.
Niliona vile umekonda ngachua huyu mtu lazima atengeneze mwili.
Umetoa wapi hiyo chakula nani amewapea?
Kilimanjaro is a snow-covered mountain that is 19,710 feet high and is the highest mountain in Africa.
Why is he stopping us?
Open the door. I need to go out.
Captain, be careful.
Samahani afande. Rafiki yangu hakuwa na nia ya kukukera.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you.
What is this?
What's this, chef?
Well, you're not in China now. Here you eat inchima.
We aren't your servants, and you're not here to enjoy life. If you can't endure some hardship, leave anytime.
All right, welcome back. It's now time. I don't know. Prof, can we mix tea and orange? Let's just test out. I don't know.
I think some had proposed that we do lemon, but
we do lemon.
I think it's bittersweet, so lemon and orange. So we're fine.
We'll try that concoction.
It's doing fine.
We'll do that. Great. Welcome back. Now, I want us to listen to what happened in Mombasa briefly before we continue with this conversation. Director, press play.
Gladys Wanga, chairman. Simba Arati, deputy party leader. Otsosi, deputy party leader. And my governor, Abdul Samad, deputy party leader. You are in leadership today. Ongezeni chama iende mbele, musitishwe na kila mtu ongee kwa chama hapa.
At a youth side event, East African Legislative Assembly MP Winnie Odinga warned that ODM is not for sale.
Nasikia kuna wengine ambao wanatembea nasi mchana lakini usiku wanajaribu kuuza hii chama. Haiwezekani. ODM was not born in a bedroom. It was not made in a bedroom. So its future will not be discussed as pillow talk.
A section of members led by Siaya Governor James Orengo and Secretary General Edwin Sifuna has been accused of attempting to herd the party out of the broad-based government.
Raila was so clever
so clever that he did not leave us just to be in the broad base. He wanted us to be the voice of the people, and that is why ODM is leading the forces within the National Assembly.
Wengi wanasema mambo ambaye waliambiwa na baba wakiwa peke yao. Kila mtu anasema hiyo, na najua hatuwezi kusikizana ni nini baba alituambia tukiwa peke yetu, na situfuate ile alisema tukiwa wote basi. Kama kitu ni mbaya, baba alikuwa anasema ni mbaya. Na kama nyinyi ndio chama cha wananchi, wananchi hawezi kuumia alafu nyinyi mnasema mambo iko sawa. Haiwezekani.
And we loved him because he accommodated us. He listened to our views. He respected us. He listened to every issue we had. Ndio tukampenda. So you cannot force us to love someone. You cannot force us to love someone. Uweza kulazimisha umpenze mtu wewe.
Nikiguza kidogo ile SG amesema na ile Winnie amesema. Sisi kama ODM, sisi hapana chama ya serikali. Sisi hapana chama. We are not a government party. We are an opposition party.
Sam, yes. Go ahead.
ODM should not be an opposition party. Why should a party be opposition party? The essence of party is acquisition of power. That is why people meet, they form a party. Because at the core of it, the main agenda is to acquire power. So then anybody who condemns ODM to a party that must keep fighting for power that never comes, because that is what is opposition, then that person is wrong. I don't even think that that was why Baba Raila Odinga has kept ODM moving for 20 years. ODM, surprisingly, or in, if I were to digress a bit, ODM had conjured a formula of getting power. It had what we call hybrid coups. You know, if ODM did not get power through the ballot, it had a way of getting power through hybrid coups. Now, hybrid coup d'etat is where you make it people-driven, bloodless, but equally effective. So once you don't get power, the first thing you do is you tell people your power has been stolen. Then you tell people, because court can't get us our power, then let's go and get it ourselves. And by so doing, Raila Odinga was able to cajole Kibaki to share government with him. He was able to do that with Uhuru. He was able to do that with Ruto. So then ODM was fighting as best as it could to walk out of the political cold that is called opposition. And Ososi is wrong. ODM is not an opposition party. But it might fight for the human rights and democracy of the nation.
Yes.
But that does not condemn it to be an opposition
What do you make,
party.
this to all of you, what do you make of Winnie's assertion that some people are walking during the day and at night they walk different walks altogether? They want to sell the party. I mean, that was Winnie.
This is what I think. By joining with Uhuru Kenyatta, it was safe because they did it in his second term. The man did not have ambitions past 2022. The only thing he wanted was, out of being grateful, he wanted to make Raila Odinga the president. But then by joining Ruto in his first term, that was a mistake as much as it has benefited the party. Because William Ruto has plans past 2027 and ODM is in the core of his plans. Now, having lost the mountain, because I can tell you like days from night, William Ruto has lost the mountain. Take it to the bank. That the moment the mountain shifts, it doesn't come back. He's lost it. The only other hope is ODM. Because ODM is a juggernaut that comes with around 7 million votes. But then, in his scheming, William Ruto might become the spider that was caught in its own cobweb. He forgets that Raila Odinga had 2 million votes from home, but he was this very great politician who knew how to go and borrow votes from neighbors. So he used to take his 2, then he would walk into West and borrow almost 1 million, walk into Kambani and tell Kalonzo, could you lend me like 1.5 million votes? He would pass by the Kisii neighbors and borrow a few. So Raila Odinga was a man not built at home like it happens in Mount Kenya. Mount Kenya, you don't need to go out and borrow. You have a juggernaut in the mountain that has closer to 7 million votes. You just measure it and you tell others, bring whatever you have to bring. Now with Odinga, he had mastered the art of going out to get these votes. Will whoever is trying to buy the party in the night because you know who it is?
I don't know.
Me, I can tell you who it is because it is not Gachagua.
I have no idea.
Can tell you who it is. I can only tell you who it is not. It is not Gachagua, it is not Kalonzo. So then, I leave you to guess who it is that is buying the party in the night.
I'm a prof. You are working on some blank check somewhere.
So then, so whoever is buying the party in the night, and if you hear Winnie talk about him, he is there. What he should do is to buy the party in the day.
Okay. Let's get from buy the party
in the day.
In the day.
Openly by negotiating with clean hands. He's a founder member, though he's like a man who left home when kids were young and he's been mudslinging the mother all along, then comes back when the sons are successful. It will be very difficult to be accepted back home.
Wow.
But anyway, he can try. It may work.
But legitimately, he's still the parent, anyway, biologically speaking.
Yes.
No,
I'm a little bit further.
I'm just looking at, looking at what he has said. One,
yes,
Winnie gave a very good speech. I think to me that is what we would like to see from the younger generation. That he was articulate, she put it on the table on exactly what we need to do, or ODM needs to do, not to get swallowed or to get lost in the fray of a political process in this country. And I think that is now the voice of the younger generation. And generally, as you look at that, we want to move fast because we're in 2025. 2026 is coming in 2 months. And people are getting worried that when you look ahead, there's only 1 year in between the election year. And you see, if you had much time, then you would start, we'd have, the teams inside ODM, both the older generation and the emerging leaders, would now have been given time to sit together, you see? Because Oburu is a very good leader, he's very sharp, and he has the experience to run the party. But then, in this other mix, you need also to bring in these younger men and women so that they can take key positions, so that there is that, intergenerational movement of leaders. Once one exits, we do not sort of have the void that we would otherwise expect in other parties.
Could you see the balance, just a minute, could you see the balance between Oburu and Winnie? Because when Oburu spoke, he said, we are going to sort that one out, kinyumbani, okay? And you can easily see the difference between the late Raila Odinga and Oburu Odinga. One is hard-hitting, another one was so tactical that it was even not possible to read his mind or that card that he kept.
I think so many people underestimated the power and capacity of Oburu. Over until he went on TV and talked to the people. I think that was the first time I saw people saying that, oh, this man is a very sharp and experienced politician. He must have been the power behind the successes that we've seen with the ODM. You see? And that is now being exhibited in every engagement that he is undertaking, including what happened in Mombasa. You see, he has experience. He knows, just as much as Winnie knows, he has been far longer with Baba than anyone else. And most of the key decisions that have been made within the party, they were first, either they were started by the two, or they were approved by the two, behind the curtains. Even this handshake, the handshakes that we talk about, especially this one of 2024 and the other one of 2018, the guy behind that power, although Winnie was, around, was because of the capacity that Oburu has had over those years. And that is the difference. Because he has experience, he knows when to hit, he knows what to say, and he says it without fear. Now, the younger generation, and Win being one of them, Win understands what the father would have wanted the party, to the direction the party should take. However, the experience that is required to drive a party the size of ODM is not with the younger generation. That's why I said it is important for progressive inclusion of these young leaders into the higher echelon of this party.
Yeah.
So that we look ahead and say that no, we have done 20 years, let us look ahead 20 years later. Now that 20 years later is not going to be Oboro Odinga. It's now going to be these other young leaders that we have in there. And that is why it is important. If you listen to what Babu said, he said that I know I'm going to be excluded because he has divergent views that are not aligned with the traditional way that most of these guys who have personal interests, they are preserving the interests, have.
Let me repeat what Governor James Orengo said. Who needs the other? President Ruto needs ODM or ODM needs President Ruto? Sam?
Both. You see, what they have is symbiotic. But then, let me go back a little bit and say, if you listened to Raila Odinga in his last days, there is a time he explained very well why he joined the government. I think he was trying to answer the agitated young people who hated him all of a sudden. When they went into demonstrations, they told him, in fact, they called him grandfather. You fought for us for so long.
Yeah.
Now rest. We shall pick it from here and fight. In their opinion, they were betrayed by the man they respected most. But then Raila Odinga, in my opinion, felt like he needed to answer them. Unfortunately, they didn't listen to him. He said he had intel that we were getting very close to army takeover. But then Raila Odinga is a politician with experience of 40 years. He has seen countries fall, and he knows that there is no country has ever come back from a military takeover. You check history.
It's always rough.
The younger people may never know this, that even some of very stable economies of yesteryears are today crumbling on the weight of military takeover. Sudan, for instance, Libya, Egypt, and all the others. Tunisia. These are countries barely moving on because of the weight of military takeover. So Baba said that the moment he knew we were getting so close to military takeover, he couldn't allow Kenya go down that line of trial and error.
Yeah.
So he said, okay, we shall shake the hands, not of our friends, but for the sake of nation, we shall form a coalition with them. Then that explains why Winnie and the younger generations feel Baba was not in this thing out of love. He was in it out of love for the nation, not out of love for the people with whom they formed the government. And since the storm has quieted, maybe they feel it is time for us to get out of this thing that was born out of necessity to save the people, not to save the sinking ship that is UDA. Now, having said so, there is now the older generation that again knows the people represented by ODM, largely from the Luo land, and the other friends with whom they form coalitions, aren't condemned to stay in the cold, because national government will always have a budget of about 4 trillion, and only 10% of it will go to devolution. So around 3.6 trillion will be used by the national government. A huge budget of it is on development expenditure that the national government decides who to eat depending on who you support. So then there is feeling among the older and wiser that we can also stay here and benefit. We eat development like other people are eating development.
So that's why ODM needs Ruto.
That is why ODM needs the wisdom of the old and the energy of the young. The energy of the young is, out of impetuosity. And by the way, it is also selfish in nature for Winnie and the others, because if they take it back to the war, then who are the people built out of war? They are the soldiers.
Okay.
They are the ones who rise to become generals.
Prof.
So the only takeover that can happen among the younger is to go back to the war, lead the war, and take the party.
But is the president so quick to take the party? Who needs, according to Orengo, the party or the president?
Well, I will still go to what he has said, that both needs each other. And one thing which is very important for all of us to note is that parties are not formed to stay in the cold. You form a party to lead, the country or the county or whichever level you form it for. You don't form it because you want to be in the position.
Yeah.
So it's important, one, that what we've seen over the last several election cycles is that because there's always a winner and there's always a number two, the number two has always realized that, it's important to tap, from the opportunities that are with the government. At the national level. And that is why in many cases we say, in our community, that every handshake that has ever happened took resources and development to Luo Nyanza.
Yeah.
Sisi tunaumia, because we are part of that basket of opposition. You see? But every handshake that happened took resources down there. So my region, which has worked, in this journey together with Baba, has always been left behind. Because then, as Baba, had those handshakes, now Kalonzo would step back and say that he doesn't want to be part of that. And that is why when a road was being made in Kisumu, in Ukambani, we're just seeing dust, and that's quite unfortunate. You see, and so I would also want to go back to what William Ruto has said over the last several appearances. One is that he's the one who approached Baba Raila Amolo Odinga when things were almost going south. He called upon Baba to come and work with him and support him to save the country. And Baba looked at two things. One is love of the country. If we ever go down the military way, then as a country would have been finished. Number two, he also pointed out that if we kicked out William Ruto, then the second person before you go to army was Gachagua. And to them, the team on the other side, he was not even a better. He was no better. When you put them together, you said no. Then better this animal that you know than the animal that you don't know.
Yeah.
Now, all of a sudden, of course, and I say this with all due respect, because I've worked with Gachagua also, worked very closely when he was GP, and of course in UDA formative stages. He's a very good politician, but he is not one of the most liked persons that people would want to make him the president.
Yeah.
But he's very good at mobilizing. In fact, now he comes out as the other next person, outside Raila, who can put people together and tell them stories and let them listen. Raila was just there. People would just come and listen.
And you think he's enjoying the instability in the party, the feuds, the fire within the party?
But you see, when you look at all the information that we have, it was only Raila Odinga who would go to a place without mobilizing.
So what do you think,
come to that meeting.
What do you think is the tactic the president is playing now?
Now, I think one of the most important things that I want people to know is that you can never underestimate William Ruto. If you look at his journey from 1992 to today, that, he has gone through some of the hardest political times in this country, including recently the BBI, when you saw what happened at the Bomas of Kenya. You see, and of course he ran against a system that was well established. Only that the technical team on this side, I don't know what happened, because I think they would have done a better job. But wanasema tuliibia, hatukufanya hivyo. We did our part, but things have to happen in the way they happened for us to see what happens after that. Now, as a president, because we engage once in a while, he knows when to press the button, how to press it, and what would happen after that. You see, he is down there with the ODM. He was there in Mombasa, and if you listen carefully, even before, when Baba passed on, he said that they had even agreed he was ready well, this might be politics, to even to step aside and give Baba the mantle to run as the president. No, he said that. I'm just saying what he said. And number two, he even agreed with what ODM is saying, that they either form the government or be part of the government. He's with them on that one.
Yeah.
The point is that being in government still makes him, and this is what we believe now, as now this wing of the system, that we are working towards making him the president, from 2027 to 2022, in which ODM is going to be part and parcel, so that they continue driving the agenda of this country to the next level.
All right. So, Sam,
yes.
The president perhaps is playing that card of gather them and scatter them, but he's not the one scattering them. Is he waiting for them to scatter completely until they lose direction, until they lose focus, and then he says, hello, I'm here, I want to gather you, and I'm going to gather you properly? Kujeni niwapange.
The president is the proverbial cat in the chicken pen.
Whoa.
So he is the one doing this scattering. And this is why I say so. Now, you see, we've praised the president for so long. The danger with that is that you never see the sucker punch come, because your ego has been bloated. Everybody has told you you've got no enemy. Your opponent is a man you're going to cut down to size in the morning. But then, even the best of generals will always have their battle of the Waterloo.
Yeah.
That day will always come, when even the best faces defeat. William Ruto is about to face his defeat, and it will happen because of his over-scheming. Sometimes, you just have to court power. Power is like a beautiful lady, so they say. You spend too much with it, it runs away because you suffocate it. Sometimes you just have to play coy, soft, pretend you don't want it so much for it to develop interest. But then Ruto is at a position where he's desperate for the first time. Just look at his numbers.
Is he?
He is very desperate. He may pretend he is not.
Sam, what are you talking about?
No. He may pretend he is not. He may make faces, but trust you me. Being the smart politician he is, because even his enemies cannot accuse him of not being smart, he knows very well that the noose around his neck is tightening. Now, the danger with that is that you start acting recklessly in your bid to save yourself. Think of it this way. People will praise Ruto, he beat the system. Ruto survived with 200,000 votes. 200,000 votes. He beat Odinga with 200,000 votes only. He did not carry the day with 60-40. It was, the ones we say, it was a slight escape from death. Ile tu napita gari inapita. Otherwise, Odinga would have been the president today. Well, our team may not have done what it ought to have been done. You can't keep blaming other teams. But let me put it this way. Think of it this way, and this is where the problems in ODM is coming from. In my opinion, Ruto is desperate enough that he's toying around with the idea of recapturing power through ODM as its presidential candidate, because Ruto is seeking to own the house. And that is why Winnie is complaining that there is somebody meeting people in the night, giving offers to buy the house. And you know why he's doing it? He is still convinced that this house, once he buys it, it comes with about 7 million votes. And this is where he goes wrong again. Because out of the 7 million votes is around 2 million votes that Kalonzo has taken away. Out of the same votes he's talking about is the same votes that Matiang'i has taken away from the Kisis. the same votes he thinks ODM comes with is the same vote that Natembeya is working all
I have no
night.
idea why the guillotine falls on you.
Yes.
Every time I want to take a break. I have no idea. I really have no idea.
Shall come back.
I really have no idea. Let's take a quick break and we come back. I want to give you 2 minutes each. This is interesting. I mean, we wrap it up. Okay?
Right.
Just 1 minute break. Stay with us.
In a world where news is ever changing, staying informed is more important than ever.
Join us every week on News Check, your go-to show for the latest in current affairs, breaking news and in-depth analysis.
A warm welcome to KBC News Check.
From politics to global events, we bring you content that matter to you.
We're not just speaking about the governance and how we want to see it, but want to actually participate.
Get your facts, hear from the experts, and really understand what is happening around you.
We need to change our system first.
You have to do the impossible
Yes.
to make sure the message is home.
Stay ahead, stay informed, stay engaged.
Will these people, everybody agree?
Just listen to me.
Let's give him a chance to clear the air.
Catch News Check every Tuesday and Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 12 noon, only on KBC Channel 1.
I think that it's up to you to discuss this with them, and most especially the father of your baby.
First of all, I didn't say anything when you threw her out. But now, I don't agree with you that she's not entitled to set foot in this house just because you say so.
You look strange. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I'm pregnant! I've just found out. I thought you had to know about it.
What I had with her is nowhere as serious as what you had with him.
Give me that. Give me that! Give me that! No, hang on a minute!
Very good. So let me start, Sam. The guillotine fell on you. Let me give you 2 minutes.
Yes.
So which way? The party is over. So do we have more party going forward for ODM?
The best way forward for ODM is to figure it out how they are going to either get out of broad-based or stay in broad-based. But what is most important for them is to remain relevant. They have a chance to know also that if ODM going forward must remain as strong as it is time they start considering the neighbors who've always joined them in fighting the battle into serious positions of leadership. If they insist or continue insisting that ODM must remain in the hand of a person from Nyanza, then they might as well reduce it to a Nyanza party. If it must remain national, then it is time to ask themselves a question. After being at home for 20 years, is it time to hand it over to friends who are also neighbors to take the helm of the party and see whether they would grow it more and more outside home? If they don't do so, then they risk being, past 2027, they risk reducing it to a Nyanza party, which will be bad for them. In the meantime, also, they also have to consider, among, like Oburu Odinga said, that in 2027 they will consider all the suitors. It doesn't have to be William Ruto. It can be as well be Kalonzo, the man who's been with Baba for the longest, fighting battles by his side. And if I were to advise them, I would tell them to cross that bridge very fast, join hands with Kalonzo, send William Ruto home, send him thinking for another 5 years whether what he's doing with this country is what should be happening.
Okay. Prof. This is interesting.
Relevance is the most important thing.
Yes.
And the beauty of this conversation is that I'm sitting with a core ODM, a player. And I come in good faith, just to say that in the next 1 year, a lot of things are going to happen. And because of these internal sort of wrangles that we are seeing openly, we would, of course, given the history of ODM and being one of the biggest party in the country, we would want it to survive longer. But unless they put their house in order, certainly we are going to see a weakened ODM. And come 2027, February, ODM might not be the major sweeter in the process if they do not sort of put themselves together.
Yeah.
Now, to me, the most important thing is that, the guys on the other side of the opposition are dealing with a formidable force of William Ruto. William Ruto is not just a man or a president. He's a guy who has, defied all odds to become the person he is. To me, even now, if he's not the president in 2027, I don't think it will be anything. I mean, because he's already become the president, and he's progressively grown from 1992 to the person he is today. If you go back to 2022, and I think this is exactly what is going to happen in 2027, we messed up the internal arrangements of Azimio by taking a few guys here and there to bring about the national outlook that we had. His Excellency Mudavadi, the speaker, and this is exactly the problem that we have in our political processes. Because then, to weaken it, and that is why I like what he said, that we, UDA, are the ones who are creating all these, problems out there. Because if we do not do that, then the target that we have for 2027 may not be realized. And for us, it is to get the best of the best from the groups that are out there. In ODM, we are watching all these guys. And we know, there are these very strong guys who can give us the numbers that we want. We will go for them. Because also, given that the mountain is gone, as he puts it, although we are going to try to see whether we can get what Baba got in 2022, we hope so, fingers crossed. The point here is that I think for me, moving forward, parties should be defined by what they bring to the people. It should not be about my personal interest or my preservation of what I have at the moment. Because now what you see today is because people are fighting for their own survival. Let us fight for the survival of political parties so that they can drive the agenda of this country. So that now the conversations that we have, which I think is agreeable to all of us, Kenya should not be where it is, where we always talk about Singapore, we talk about Korea, we were there at the same level. We should now be having this conversation. How fast do we get to being a first world country? Whether you are on this side or on the other side, I think this should be a common conversation in this country. So that at least in our lifetime, we can see a Kenya that is in this continent, that is at the top, driving the agenda of this continent, but also competing with the best of the best, globally. That cannot be done if we have proper governance. And this is something that William Ruto says. He has said it properly. Why we are where we are is because we have not had ideal governance systems in this country. Now that governance process is what he's been working towards to ensure that we drive Kenya, industrialization, modernization, and of course stop this dumping of products from outside the country, and of course become a net exporter of our own innovations to other countries. So that at least we can also become a powers like Israel a small country out there, or even Japan, which is an island, or even these small countries that we're talking about, like South Korea, whose birth rate is one of the lowest, but they now drive the globe in terms of newest technologies in the area of air and so on and so forth.
Okay. There's a question somebody is asking here. Perhaps it was just, the president also talked about it, that he wore the orange cap and the UDA color to mix. And that was to say that, you know what, my members will still want to know that I'm a member of UDA. And as a founding member of ODM, I had to wear that cap.
No, alikuwa ametoka Ukambani. He flew all the way from Kitui and the yellow is a Kamba color. He was so pleased, and he said it. He said, "No, I have just left Kitui for a meeting with the grassroots leaders in Kitui. So please, sort of understand that I am wearing the Kamba color, but just to show that I'm with you."
The president is a politician, so probably that attire was worn in the morning with a message late in the evening for dinner.
Yes. No, we are looking forward to this. Is why he did that. The president is keen in working with ODM.
Yes.
And so the formation, if it works, because we have all this on the table, is that in 2027, ODM and UDA are going to be in one coalition to drive the agenda of the country.
I wanted to ask this question. Cherargei said that there is no position for negotiation.
No, Cherargei is not the party. Cherargei is a politician.
He said ODM should think of something else. I don't want to open this. Sam, thank you so much. Asante sana for coming. Sam,
I thought you were extending the debate.
Director Tudele. Okay, so I'm told that we need to wrap it up. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming to the show. It has been 1 hour. I mean, Sam, unataka tuendelee? No, time is up. We need to cross over to Kisumu and have another discussion with Simon Achola taking charge of that. Asante sana, Professor, for coming to the show.
Thank you.
As well as Sam Kimani, who's a public policy analyst. He's a development expert. Asante sana, gentlemen, for coming to the show. All right, so
thank you so much.
Twende Kisumu. Simon Achola, good morning. The lakeside city of Kisumu City is probably a good one. Simon. Simon, good morning.
Well, thank you very much, Victor Olo. Indeed, we're coming to you live from Kisumu County, and this is the Western Spectrum, a program that looks at various issues affecting this particular region and, of course, across the country. And today, we'll be discussing something that has been discussed for, of course, years, and very marginal, if you say so, in terms of gains have actually been achieved. And we're talking about the two-third gender rule. The question is that how do we get more women into leadership position? What do we do? Quite often, of course, this discourse is domiciled at the very top, where we discuss the law, we discuss the elite women in terms of just ensuring that more and more people come to the fore, more and more women actually get a shot at leadership. But at the grassroots level, where, of course, everything happens, we usually don't tend to discuss much. And today, we have grassroots leaders who are actually going to discuss this particular topic in terms of just ensuring that we get to know what needs to be done, so that then we make the baby steps towards ensuring that more and more women get a shot at a leadership position. The baby steps that needs to be done, so that then we get that opportunity. Of course, on set we have the CEC for Gender, Sports and Culture from Kisumu County, Madam Beatrice Odongo, and we also have an environmentalist and, of course, grassroots mobilizer, Beatrice Johansen, who, of course, has been doing quite a lot in this region, and they will be on the set in terms of just discussing these particular topics and ensuring that we get a grasp of exactly what needs to be done, so that then more women can actually have a shot at a leadership position. Just to put into perspective, of course, as we speak right now, despite the implementation of the 2010 Constitution, we have just achieved about 23% of what needs to actually achieve the two-third gender role. And the projection is that unless something happens, it will take at least 6 elections before we can actually hit the 33.3% mark that is actually needed to fulfill what the Constitution needs. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Yes, Waziri, we'll go straight to you. This is a discussion that has actually been made quite often, and the question is that what needs to be done in terms of culture, in terms of opportunities that there is, so that then more and more girl child can actually get an opportunity at leadership roles.
Thank you so much. I think as somebody who is in the leadership space and who found herself in leadership space at a young age.
You found yourself, or you actually worked towards it?
I found myself there, of course, because I worked for it.
Yes.
That is why I got there. I really want to say that one thing that if we all agree to do, then we'll be able to change in terms of bringing women and young people into leadership, is the appreciation by the parents. And especially when you talk about the girl child, It is about the father supporting the girl child. I'm saying this because if you look at my family, where I come from, I am a politician because my dad was a politician. I'm into leadership space because he gave me that chance. He nurtured me to become into that leadership space. We've had many people in many families, if you look at it culturally. Fathers will prefer we educate the boy child, the girl child will get married, why should we take her to school? But you see, if you look at homes where parents appreciated both the girl child and the boy child, you will realize that all of them are doing well. There is nothing like the boy is doing well, the girl is not doing well, all of them are doing well. So I think it is a collective responsibility for the parents to say, by the time you are giving birth, all these are your children. The way you want to treat your boy child is the same way that you should be treating the girl child. So I think to me that is a conversation that I normally even talk to our elders, even when we are in a community. You see, even right now as we speak, there are people who are still like, they don't believe a woman can be a leader. But the question you ask yourself is, giving an example of you, Simon, if you don't believe a woman can be a leader, you have a daughter. It is like you are killing something in her. Because if you don't believe in somebody's child, girl child, how do you believe in your own girl child? So it starts with us as parents in terms of how do you see your children? Because when we talk about leadership, it is not only about political leadership. Somebody can be working in an office. Somebody can be a chief in an area. Somebody can be a group leader within a community. Somebody can be a community mobilizer. That is a leadership space that you are in. It doesn't mean that you just need to be in the office for you to be a leader. So to me, from where I sit, I think it starts with us as parents. How do you appreciate both your boy child and your girl child? How do you give them safe space to nurture themselves? And again, how do you treat both of them equally so that they also appreciate each other?
And was it at times when we say that appreciating or giving them equal opportunity, quite often we think of the big things. If you're buying a car for this one, you're also buying a car for the other one. If you're buying land for the other child, you're also buying land for the other child. But even just seeking the opinion or on the dining table when we're actually having supper, the simple task of actually saying, bitches, what is your opinion on this? Yes.
I think that is, you see, when you do that, giving example of having something on the table and you are chatting together, when you do that, it is like you are putting something into them. As they grow, they realize that they should be appreciating each other. You know, we have families whereby even the boy grows undermining the girl, and this is a sister. So you know, when you as a parent, you sit with them on the same table every day and you're like, so and so, you see, we were thinking we sell this land. The girl is also there, is also giving her opinion. The boy is also giving her opinion. So they grow up appreciating each other. But the moment you start, you don't involve the girl child, the boy child will be like, you know, I'm the man of the home. So when the girl speaks, you're like, you go and talk, you will get married, go and talk where you will get married. That is not how we should bring up our child. So our children. So from where I sit, I believe if we have that conversation, that you start at a younger age. You have something you want to share with your family, involve your wife, involve the children, where you invite the boy child, invite the girl child. You want to do this, can we do it together? If you are blessed, just as you said, you want to buy a car. If you can buy for both of them, the better. If you can't manage both of them, just don't buy. Just tell them I wanted to buy, or I will buy one, but you will share the two of you. So it depends with how they grew up. If you tell them you're going to share this car, they'll really share it. So and so, I want to use this car today. Use it, you're my sister. Use it, you're my sister. But you see, when you're like, you prefer the boy child than the girl child, or we even have families where they prefer the girl child than the boy child. So you are bringing some conflict between the children. And that is why we now end up, some of them hating each other. They are sisters, but they really hate each other. Yes.
You must be, as a grassroots mobilizer, encountering some of these things, some of these drawbacks in the community quite often. How do you surmount them?
Just as you said, I'm Beatrice Johnson, and I work as a community or grassroots mobilizer. Okay, first I would agree with what the minister has talked about. It comes from the house, you know, how children are being treated and the opportunities they're given. From even like when they're doing the house chores and all that, you find like in the old age, girls would be sent out to go fetch for firewood, you know, water, and it takes a lot of time, while boys are given the opportunity to concentrate on work. So it's something that needs to be done from the downer level. And also like this thing of, as ladies, we go through menstrual cycle and all that. This is something that is also closing ladies outside when they're in that period. Some of them cannot go to school. Some of them cannot appear into the public. So it, as a grassroots mobilizer, it has been a challenge. And we are thinking, like, what can we do? I work in an area where it's a slum area, right? And you find, like, even getting some of the basic stuff, it's not easy. It throws girls into even getting early pregnancies while they are searching for even their pads, So, yeah, and so what we have tried to do at the grassroots level is to sensitize them and give them mentors, talk to them just openly and tell them, like, the space outside there is for everyone, for the boy and the girl. And you have the opportunity to go out and stand out with your voice, but of course depends with the foundation you're given. But you also have to do something about it, even if the culture doesn't appreciate it that much. But then where we are today as a country, it has given the culture that space to also come out and talk about it. So we also give them the chances in our spaces to talk, to participate, to get mentors, and also to even get sponsors to help them come out from the cocoon. Yeah.
You have touched on the culture quite a bit, and it comes out dominantly that indeed culture has an important role to play. Other cultures, of course, are retrogressive, and others, of course, are right, progressive. In Kisumu County, one of the issues that is actually drawing back those or clawing back those efforts by the girl child to grow is actually the issues of teenage pregnancy, and she has alluded to it through, of course, minor issues as seeking sanitary towels. You are actually a CC of that particular department that actually looks into some of those issues. How then do we put in place structures that ensure, one, that we reduce teenage pregnancies, and of course contributory factors that actually lead to teenage pregnancies, because Kisumu County is one of the leading, and you have actually just told me that it is leading because, of course, the issues are actually being reported.
Yeah, they're going for clinics, so they are recorded. Yes. In many areas, they don't go for clinics, yes. So it is not recorded, and I think I want to appreciate our health workers in terms of what they're doing and giving us the actual data. Let me make a comment. When you talk about even being stigmatized in terms of being having your menstrual periods, I believe there is something also unique with men that ladies doesn't go through. So this is also unique for the girls that men doesn't go through. So when you talk about culture, it takes me back to what I was saying, because for one, there are young girls who find themselves pregnant because at one point she requested her mother or the father, I don't have a pad, kindly can you buy for me? And the mother is like, go and look for it, I don't have money. Where do you expect her to go and look for it and get it? Of course you are pushing her to somebody. To an extent, we even have some women, they tell, you see the border guy who normally comes here to bring something, can you talk to him to buy you? What are you doing to your child? Which means, as a parent, you are pushing your child to a responsibility at an early age, and then immediately she becomes pregnant. Again, you are there like, why did you become pregnant? Again, you want to throw her away. She is again now another responsibility. So I want to, of course, I know the government should be doing something in terms of providing the sanitary towels.
Because that is, that is actually, just to cut it, that is a question I wanted to ask, because we have actually had this discussion in terms of the government actually providing some of these things. Then we don't get to a level where girls are actually subjected to going to border riders or any other person in the community to get some of these basics. What are we doing to ensure that indeed these girls can actually access these basic commodities as and when they need them?
You know, the government, of course, we say the government have a budget to provide the sanitary towels. But the challenge is, you realize the government, in a whole financial year, they may be provided with 3 sanitary towels. And we have, in our whole financial year, we have 12 months. It means there is a period that we will have a gap.
Yes.
So how do you take it as a parent? to be a responsibility on you, that you ensure as much as the government is giving something, and also try my best to get something so that my daughter does not expose herself to such kind of things. So maybe the government will not be able to do 100%, even if you give them 10 years, 20 years or so years. But me, I want to take back the responsibility to the parents. We know there are parents who are not able to. But the girls can even go to the government offices and just say, you know, when you go there as one person, assuming you come to me as Waziri and you tell me, Waziri, I don't have packs, I can even buy you 10 packs. It doesn't mean that you keep quiet or you are able to speak to somebody who is going to misuse you, but you don't want to come to speak to a fellow woman who may say, I may not get two, but I can get you one.
What was it? People will argue that, yes, well, I will come to you and ask and actually have it. Is that how many people your office, Nyong'o's office, or walk into Beatrice's office and actually access those towels? The argument will be that then that the government must create a conducive environment so that then players in the sector, be it grassroots mobilizers, be it young entrepreneurs, and even the girls themselves, because they understand the problems that actually come with lack of sanitary towels, right? So then they set up small industries, small cottage industries that can actually produce some of these facilities and ensure that they're actually accessible for the young girls.
Let me ask you one thing. Why is it, giving example of a girl, why is it that it is easier for me to walk to a man who may want to misuse me, may not be a government officer, but I just walk to him and tell him, kindly help me get a sanitary towel? Why can't I walk to a neighbor who is a mother who is going to help me? It is not a must they come to the government office. But in the area, you have the area chief, you have the organizations within the community. You can walk to anybody so long as you protect yourself from somebody who is going to misuse you.
Because you are in this space, and the question you're asking yourself is that one of the reasons why the women, and not just into that space, is that so then policies can be formulated in a way that is actually going to favor the girl child in the community. Because the more women we have in these positions, the more policies, the more progressive policies towards women we actually have. So then what we need to do, which is
what we need to do to get a lot of women in the space. Do you know some countries, especially developed countries, this is actually not a topic. One, like even if a girl gets pregnant at an early age, the state will take care of the child while the girl goes back to school. Things like sanitary towels, like the way Waziri has talked about, it's made available in such a way that even if your parents or your family cannot provide for it, it's still, you are still going to have access to it. I think there are some things that we really need to do at the basic level so that ladies can also find themselves comfortable in stepping out. Just like we are sadly talking about a simple thing as a sanitary towel, stopping a girl to step out because maybe they could not afford it before they go to a seminar or school or something like that. That is very basic, but at the same time, it plays a role. So these are some of the things that if our policy makers can consider, especially in the slum areas, they can be wise, they can be good enough, but you know, they're not getting enough time to do what they're supposed to do. The other thing probably that needs to be done is mentoring and talking to them on one-on-one level. You've talked about family playing a role. For me, actually, it's my dad also who has made me come out like this, you know, because he's been there out and supporting me. So I feel like the space is safe for everyone. Not every girl has that chance, especially if you come from a single parent family or something like that. They lack that aspect, you know. And also, like, if the resources are not made available, so they're just lagging behind as compared to maybe even some other girls who have the same opportunities. So if we can work on a way that all the basics, they kind of come up on the poverty line like that, they're on the other side, you know. So the basics are well taken care of. Then we move to the next level. Is it a matter of the skill work or something like that? It's not everyone who goes to school that will make it. Some people will use their skills and all that. What are we doing about the skills that these ladies have, you know? if they can't afford schoolwork or something like that, they can do other things, you know, but at least we make them come out from their cocoon and then speak out into the public. So I think as mobilizers, as the policy makers, let's consider at the grassroots level, like we do something for these girls to not just sit there, and also maybe also depend on their parents who cannot afford, you know, have mentors, have schools, have safe spaces where they can just go and and also like if they can be sponsors, it's good we have the minister here, sponsor girls into some of these even seminars or something like that where they can be exposed into the world outside there. And I know like our economy is still down, we cannot reach the level, you know, but we can do something at the grassroots level, reaching out to them. There's some people who probably have not even met a minister like this, you know, to interact with them. Then their self-esteem goes down. Even if they meet, it's like they don't know what to do, they don't know what to share. As simple as that.
As simple as that.
Yeah.
Waziri Beatrice, you've been very big on mentorship, and actually she's talked about mentorship. I've actually met you in a number of activities where you are actually just mentoring young girls. The question is that how do you move from the mentorship, the initial mentorship, so that then we actually put these people into now wanting to take up leadership roles? And probably if you can actually expand further in terms of just what your ministry is actually doing in terms of ensuring that there are more and more sessions where one, as it has said, these young girls can actually meet influential women in the society, and then to also now move to the next step of actually taking up leadership positions.
Thank you so much. Before I get to that, for just a minute, I wanted to make a final comment in terms of when you say we have many women into leadership spaces, what are they doing to ensure that the young girls have sanitary towels? There's something I saw, I was somewhere last year. What they're doing, instead of the government giving opportunity to politicians distributing the sanitary towels that is being bought by the government, they provide it in each and every school. The way you go to the toilets, everywhere you find condoms there. In that area, what I realized, you go to any university, there is a place where sanitary towels are just there. They are finished, again they do an addition. They finish and then they top up. In all the secondary schools, in all the universities. So that you don't even need to go to somebody for you to get that sanitary towel. So I think maybe if the government can go that direction, that would be better. That in all our secondary school, we just have somewhere, if you don't have, you go there, you pick, you go your way.
Or make it even quite affordable in a way that you can actually get it for 5 bob or even 10 bob. I will give you an example. Yes, is providing for schools. The
way you go to the toilets nowadays and you get a kit for condom there, that is the way you go to those toilets in every secondary school and in every university. It is provided.
Just saying that because there's a friend of mine in Kisii. She's called Kelly Ogola for Ecobana. And what they do is that they've actually come up with a concept similar to what you're saying. But what they've done is that to ensure that each and every school actually has a dispenser, what they're calling pad dispenser, and petrol stations, right? And they're saying that in some situations, you just want that 5 bob to get one piece that will help you for the day as you look for money for probably the second day. Yes, and I was asking her, why can't she actually get in touch with probably government or government institutions, so that then they can actually cascade further that program. So then more and more people can actually access those facilities.
Good, so that even in the slums, we just have a dispenser. Even if somebody is paying 5 bob, and if the government is providing, why do you pay? Unless there is a shortage, then people can pay that 5 bob. But if you can have those dispensers, because that is what I realized the government was doing. I think I was in Philippines last year. That is what they're doing. And it is free. For them, it is free. And it is a law that in all universities and in all secondary schools. So I think that is one of the areas we could discuss if you get me connected to that lady.
Of course I will.
We see how do we work together to ensure that we put up such kind of things and they are picked up, we are able to support our girls.
And also maybe to add on that before you go to the question, the pads, there also there's possibility of having recycled pads. I know maybe we may not appreciate it so much, but then there are pads that can be made that can be recycled. I remember there was a time we worked with YMCA, and then they brought this concept where they were just showing these ones, and then they could be given, so if you can't afford, that is for someone probably who can't afford. If you can't afford, you go for the normal ones, But then if you can't afford, the government can partner with such organizations and come up with the parts that can be recycled so that we take care of the basic situations. That's what I wanted to add.
Thank you so much. So as we proceed, one thing that even as I say, I had support from my parents to be where I am. I also went through some mentorship programs. And I think that is why, just as you mentioned, I really want girls to be engaging themselves so that they are exposed. A critical example is when this program of Yes Youth Can, I don't know whether you heard about it. Yes. This program that was being sponsored by the USAID. I actively participated in that program. From the grassroots, it was starting from the village level to the ward level to the constituency level and then to the county level. And what happened with this program, they were really doing towards a lot of capacity building. So they were able to capacity build us in terms of leadership, in terms of social life, in terms of even business. So you realize when they're doing all this, it gives you some confidence and you're able to pick your line when they do all these capacity building sessions.
And mentorship.
Yes, and mentorship sessions. So that is also another area that many girls, and I also want to say many boys, should also take advantage. Some of us realize these programs come, like just the other day people were talking about the program of Nyota that is also coming up. Despite the money that it has, the main important thing is the training that it has, because you will remain with the knowledge. The money you may eat, it may end up not even helping you. But the knowledge you've gotten can transfer you to doing another thing.
From one step to another.
To the other. So me, I really want to encourage young people, and that is where you also realize that I am a leader in this space and I can grow myself from here to move somewhere. I can grow myself in business to move somewhere. So those spaces, because assuming you have your own business today and you are the CEO of that your business, you are a leader. It doesn't mean that if you see Waziri is the leader. No, you are a leader. You are the director. I've opened my company. I'm a director of so-and-so company. I'm a leader in that space, and you treat yourself like a leader. When you get somewhere where people are being told, do we have leaders here? You should be the first one to carry up your hand. That I am a leader. You are in Kibuye, maybe you are selling your clothes. You are a leader in that your space because that is your business. So you start by appreciating yourself in the small way where you can. And then people will recognize we need to appreciate Beatrice because of what she's doing. She's selling her clothes, she's doing well, she sees herself to fit in that space. So people will also come and appreciate you. So as leaders and as women, we must encourage young girls. They appreciate themselves in first place. And again, even look at the creative economy sector now coming up. Many girls, many young girls, they're doing so well in performances. They're doing so well in doing even entertainment. They're educating people, they're entertaining people. They're doing so well by just maybe doing spoken words. So if you start believing in yourself, then again somebody will be able to see that this person is somehow, maybe you still have a problem, but there is something that you can.
There's something that you actually
are able to come out.
Yes.
So that leadership, let me say like a talent that you have, can grow into leadership, depending on how you appreciate it, and depending on how even your parents sees it and say, so and so looks like a musician, can we just appreciate the girl come up and do what she can do? There are even many people, and I have an example I want to give it today. Last year, last elections 2022, there's a girl who came to me and she was like, Beatrice, tell me how you manage politics at this age. And I was like, now, how do I even start explaining to you? Have you talked to your parents? And then she told me, like, there was a day I was talking to my father and he told me, don't even try.
Don't try.
Don't try. And this was, she wanted to buy in a school, in college, secretary for the student union. And now she was telling me, I went to discuss with my father and she was like, don't try, my daughter. Women in politics are bad women. If you start that, you will get to politics. So I think as parents, if you see something in your child, in a daughter or in your son, appreciate. So long as it is not a bad thing, it is something that will help her. Kindly just appreciate it. Yes.
I will pick on what you said in terms of just taking up leadership positions, even for the small business that you actually have at home. And that begs the question that parents are we doing enough in terms of changing the mindset of our children, of wanting them to be leaders of their small ventures, other than just wanting to be employed by the government? And what do we need to do to ensure that more and more of our children actually change the mindset of, I want to work for Kenya Broadcasting Corporation, excuse me, I want to work for the Kisumu County government, I want to work for this specific organization, and actually just start up their own small initiatives towards building their leadership skills, and also creating employment and actually fighting for space at whatever level?
I went to a family last 2 weeks ago here in Seme. These children were left at a younger age. The firstborn is a girl child who was by then in class 6. Yes. And then she has other 3 siblings. If the parents were not so keen to nurture the girl into leadership in terms of taking care of the family, that family would be nowhere. But as we speak, they are doing good, because this girl decided, I don't know, the parents, the father died and then the mother ran away. They don't even know where the mother went to. They don't know whether she's alive or not, but she left. Immediately the father died. This girl decided to walk into people's offices. She walked into chief's office. I have my siblings, we don't have what to eat, can you support us? That is what she used to do. At times she could walk out, she goes to school at that age of class 6. By the time she was now getting to class 8, they had gotten somebody to take care of the family, because she was out for the siblings. Yes. You know, that is leadership that she showed. That now at least all of them are able to get somewhere. So at one point, one of them was taken by a neighbor who was taking care of her. The other one was taken by an uncle now, because they saw these children are not just here to sit. They're here to say that we want to move even without the parents, and we believe in ourselves. As we speak, this girl is in the US, the firstborn. The lastborn is in a school here in Siaya, Nyamira Secondary School. All of them are on scholarship, but it is because the first child showed the leadership and ensured that we want to take care of this family. And I believe she did this because the parents were nurturing her when they were there. That is why she was able to do that. So I think, to me, leadership does not mean, as you say, that you are working for KBC, that you are a leader in that space. It depends with where you are and how you appreciate the space that you are in. Yes.
Fantastic. Before we come back to Waziri, who is actually already in that space, let us look at the political environment in this country. When you look at the by-elections that will actually be held on 27th of this month, that is next week, not even a third of contestants are actually female, right? Are actually women. So that, of course, speaks to what we are discussing today. What exactly is happening? Is it because you are on the ground? Is it because of the political environment we have in this country? Or what exactly is making women shy away from actually seeking some of these positions?
Well, I just want to align it with what she was just explaining. Leadership should not only be considered in boardrooms. It should be considered whether in the forest, classrooms, health centers, and all that. And, mostly those are the frontline areas where most women are, and they're not really respected. They are not appreciated well. And the pay is always low. Look at even as low as, sometimes I look at ECD teachers, and I'm like, these are the people who really needs to be appreciated. Because they start kids with Pampers and all that. They teach them how to even call names out and, have some language of command and all that. They're not being appreciated. So you see, that makes women just do things. Of course, it's a calling, and they do it out of passion. But the appreciation is pretty low. You're talking about the political space. Women are finding it a little harder, and especially in our continent. Talk about even when we go into relationship, you find like even men may not want even to relate with tough women, quotes, you understand? Because, okay, exactly, I know you're not there. Because if you are vocal, if you are, your voice is out there, you stand out to be...
And you say what you want.
it turned out to be as a threat. The way she was talking about the father of the girl who wanted to come out, and actually from your parents' perspective, that is not your space. Then you're meeting someone who maybe you want to relate to or something like that. They're like, okay, thank God for some of us. Me, I got someone who really supported me, supported my vision and all that, and I really appreciate him, Ivan. You know, he has made me stand out because as we started together, we went out, worked together. In my position and his position, we were all leaders, and you know, he just appreciated it, you know, and we went out, you know, it gave me some confidence. Beside my my dad and my brothers, he stood out for me because he was like, oh, are you doing this? And anytime you come up with a different idea and all that, he will literally support it. That is something that a lot of ladies lack. So if they want to stand out in the political space and they meet men who will be like beating their heads down and all that, you know, at the end of the day, you'll be like, and actually, in addition to that, you find like us ladies also, we don't take care of our fellow ladies' crown. We are the people who also pull them down. So imagine you meet men who are pulling you down, and your ladies also are pulling you down, and your self-esteem is also putting you down. Will you stand on the post? No, it's very, yeah. So that is why you find in the political space, a lot of ladies are not standing out because they just want to fit in the society. They want just to be average.
Your space, right? How difficult is it? I mean, when you are actually walking out of your office and you are above average in terms of your looks and everything, right? And people are pointing at you and saying that she must have gotten that position because she slept with person A, B, and C, right? How is it difficult for you as a player already in that space to actually just have your head holding high and, of course, doing whatever you want as a woman in that space?
Thank you so much for that question, because I think it is a perception. There is no single woman that will get to any space that people will not say she did something or she went there because of somebody or because of so and so. But me, I want to say this, and I really appreciate one of my role model, Millie Odhiambo. Guess. Because I can remember when I was campaigning in 2016, I reached out to her and she told me, why do you fear? Go for it. I think that statement made me move like, then I can make it. So women in leadership space, and I want to say, be it in politics or in offices, it is not easy. You must have the heart to say, I'm going for it. Because people will say a lot about you. There are people, not that they hate you, but because you are a woman, you don't fit there.
But it must also make it clear. It is not easy in politics. Neither is it easy anywhere else, because even if you are running business, it's also difficult. Beatrice keeps complaining about her activities, her small income-generating activities that she does. And she says it's not easy. So people must understand that just as it is not easy in politics, it's also not easy out there. Continue.
Exactly. The life is the same. It is a cross. It is not easy all over. So I think, to me, just as you said, many women have not come out in terms of the elections, the by-elections that we are having on 27. One of the challenges that people fear are abuses. You're like, I'll stand there, people will abuse me. Even in the offices, even in your small business, there are people who don't believe in you. You are selling your own banana and somebody is coming and saying, this one is wasting time with this small banana. Can you go back home? That is still a challenge that even anybody who wants to be an MP can experience. So I think the challenge is across. It is upon you to come out and tell yourself, whatever comes my way, I know what I want. And you know yourself. What people say doesn't matter to you. Because even you, let me ask you, is there people not talking about you? There are people talking about you. So why is it so much that when they talk about women, it is so loud than when you want to talk about a man? So it is just a matter of telling yourself, I don't want to hear what people say. Even if I hear them, it will not affect me. Then you are able to go into those spaces. Because if you don't build yourself to get to that level, then I think we will never have the two-thirds that you are saying about in political spaces, in offices, and everywhere across that we go. Even in businesses, we still have more men in business than women. But not that women cannot do business. Some of them can, but you realize even in a family, the husband tells you, why should you do business and I'm working? You just sit at home.
Do you think that our politics is actually doing enough in terms of providing also that space so that then women can actually take up positions. ODM, the party leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, one of the greatest politicians from this region, just passed on, right? And there's been a lot of politics around who takes over and the direction the party takes. Women are very, not very loud on exactly where these things are supposed to go. And the only person who's actually come up strongly to actually try and give direction is Winnie Odinga. Do you think political parties are actually giving us that space to have a voice in the political parties' affairs, running of it, and actually how we can actually run our things in the parties?
Let me appreciate the late Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga. Because if you want to get a leader who could stand up and say we need women in leadership spaces, he was the one. If you want to look at somebody who was even supporting women to be MPs, is none other than Raila Amolo Odinga. So he tried, and we are like, are we going to go back, or we'll start the fight that Raila started? Because number one, look at how many people do ODM nominate in each and every election. There are many women. You come to the assembly. When I was nominated in the last assembly, we were 11 women nominated. Right now, there are 9 women nominated, and across the country, where ODM has the majority. So it is one party that has supported women in leadership.
So
right now,
nomination, it means also that women have not been elected. So we are finding a way.
Exactly, and that is where the election.
As we conclude, because time is not on our side, right? What then do we need to do in conclusion, so that then we ensure that more and more women are actually getting that space? In conclusion, 1 minute, and then we conclude, because time is not on our side. Yes.
What we need to do to have more women into leadership. Women can decide to have a president in this country.
Yes.
They are the majority, they are the voters. Yes. The problem with
and when
women...
they say they are voting, they vote.
Exactly. The problem with us, it is about we don't believe in each other's potential. Can we say that this time round, we want more women MPs so that if men can be nominated? It is not a must that only women can be nominated. Even men can be nominated when we have majority of women in the leadership spaces. So women should come out, vote for their fellow women, so that we have more women in the parliament, in spaces, and men should be nominated. That would be my cutting shot.
Yeah, in concluding, I would say, like the way you've given us this space, these are spaces that ladies need to be given so that they can flex their muscles. That is one. Secondly, we need, for example, our cultural biasness needs to be worked on. You know, whereby you just look at a lady and you feel like they're not enough. Or maybe because being a mother who is breastfeeding, you will be attending to a little kid, sickness and all that. That needs to be really addressed. You know, in I would say, because I developed countries, they give women a lot of time to take care of a little baby. You understand? Even in that space. So that can also encourage women that even if you're going to give birth at this particular time, your space is well taken care of. And also like the mentorship. We need people like Beatrice to come out there and talk to ladies. You know, tell them, yeah, we are here already ahead of you guys. So just come. If you need some help, we'll pat you on the shoulder. So some of those things. And also our men outside there, please, not Achola. Achola is okay. but you know, we tend to put women down. You see a lady coming out there and then you're like, oh, you will just use you, and then you go, no, we need... Think about this lady as your sister, as your daughter, or something like that. So anytime you're giving this lady an opportunity, think about your daughter who is going to be given opportunity somewhere.
Fantastic. Yeah. That is Beatrice Yonsen, and of course Beatrice Waziri Beatrice Odongo from Kisumu County. Just trying to make us understand what actually needs to be done in terms of ensuring that more and more women can actually get a shot at leadership positions. They say that we should not only look at politics, but also ensure that women can actually occupy the small leadership positions from the business level all the way to corporate levels, and of course in the political circles. But one thing they're saying is that men must hold the hands of the women and ensure that they actually play on the same or the same playing field or level playing field with them in this murky field of politics. Of course, this has been the Western spectrum. I will appreciate one or two people who've actually been following this discussion. Mercy from Nambale, of course, just telling us that we've done well as KBC in terms of ensuring that more and more discourse around women leadership is actually out there. And of course, Mercy, I tell you that we'll continue to do so, and we also continue to ask that you continue to watch so that then you also get into leadership position. We also want to thank the management of this hotel, that is Mirage Palace Hotel here in Kisumu County, that has continued to give us a space in terms of ensuring that we can actually hold this show every other Monday in their building. And I also want to thank the KBC management for ensuring that, of course, we have this opportunity to ensure that we can actually have this discourse. Our camera person, Swibe Nyamatiko, Christina Adhiambo, our producer, Vincent Achola, and Johnny Muhika, and entire management. My name is Achola Simon. I take you back to Vivian Ndegwa, who is actually standing by on the other side of the studio to ensure that, of course, we continue with this discussion on the other side. Back to you, Vivian.
All right, thank you so much. Now let's get into Family Check. And this morning, the question we're asking you is, does the younger generation believe in marriage? That is the question we're asking. And we're also allowing you to give your opinion on the same. You can get to talk to us. 301. And before we get into it, we had a conversation, or we got to speak to several people on the streets of Nairobi. So how about we get to listen to what they had to say concerning this topic, and then we come back and get into it.
It depends the person who you are na venye umejipanga. Yeah. Actually sahi majenzi wameogopa majukumu plus kazi piko chini. Yeah, actually ndo main reason yangu kivyangu.
Marriage si ya mafala, na marriage si kitu ndogo. Huwezi ingia kwa marriage kama hujajiplan. Si kitu unaweza amkia tu ulale uamke sasa mimi nataka kuoa. Jana wataki kujumuika, hiyo ndio shida kubwa sana. Hawataki shughuli, nataka tu msana kuja hapo, umemweka tu ujue anakula nini na nini. So vijana wajipange na wafanye job ili kila kitu itakuwa sawa.
Yes, I do believe in marriage. Sababu unajua katika mila za Kiafrika mwanaume inafaa uoe na ukae na bibi. Angalia watu ni kuogopa tu, wanaogopa na wako na unyonge mingi. Angalia wengine hawataki kufanya kazi, utakaje na bibi kama ufanyi kazi? Unajua mwanamke anakupenda conditionally. Mwanaume ndio unapenda mwanamke unconditionally. Bibi anakupenda ina condition that lazima provide. Unaona? Sasa kama huwezi provide, wewe kazi yako ni madawa na kukunywa pombe kila siku venye Rawali alikuwa anasema akiamka pombe. Wewe sasa utakaa na bibi. Si utaogopa? Yes, namna hiyo.
Actually for now kwa generation yetu kitu naweza sema I don't believe in marriage because the men right now mtu hataki kufanya majukumu yake, like anataka the lady afanye, so even they believe in 50-50. Na venye sisi tumekuwa raised, we don't believe in 50-50. Like we believe the man should be the provider in the family. Yeah. For now utapata mimi siezi amini mwanaume to that much. And then on the other side, the men also, they say fear girls. Also as we say fear men.
I believe in marriage from the perspective in I grew up now. I have grown up in a family and both parents, and I've seen their marriage. I always admire it. So I want to get married also. Most of the people are complaining about responsibilities. Most of the men are saying responsibilities are due. Now, some people can't sustain them. Girls want to be provided for everything, of which for me I believe men should be providing. But according to girls nowadays, they want to be provided 100%. But during the older times, I will speak from my own perspective, my dad provides most, but also my mom, when time comes, he also adds up his funds and he supports also my dad. But nowadays, girls just want to be...
Ulikuwa unafanya nini hapo?
Breaking news. Hii utapenda.
Ni nini? Hivi timbi ndo sipendi.
Kwani kwa home ni shida?
Hawa watu naogopa hapa, kila mtu ako na shida zake na siri zake.
Inaniuma kuona Josh akiwa na stress hivi. Nitapoteza.
Na ndio maana unafaa kuwa strong.
Nimeachilia familia yangu ikatusiwa.
Utalia tena mama.
Wananitagundu wakita.
Wewe. Kule jikoni umeasia nani?
Sasa zingine napumzikanga hiyo moshi kidogo.
Itabidi uondoke nilete mtule anaezana na mambo ya moshi.
Hiyo moshi ni yangu mama. Hiyo moshi hawawezani naye.
Leo uko smarti. Nilionga azumbui. Niko na sawati yako.
Kwa kazi yako nani yako?
Kazi yangu inakuhusu nini?
Mko na mchezo za kitoto mpaka zani utoto amekuingia.
Ndio nimekampa.
Watu wana missing you, singing English.
Chakula iko aje kwani unaniona?
I was in that race, I got tired.
Lakini bado mimi ni mlembo.
Niliona vile umekonda ngachua huyu mtu lazima atengeneze mwili.
Umetoa wapi utakula nane mewapea?
Lakini hata wakati alipokuwa na shughuli nyingi za kimataifa, mtukufu Rais Moi aliendelea na wajibu wake mkubwa wa kuiongoza Jamhuri ya Kenya. Bunge ni mojawapo ya misingi ya maongozi ya kidemokrasia nchini Kenya. Mtukufu Rais Moi huhudhuria vikao vya bunge kama rais wa jamhuri na pia kama mbunge aliyechaguliwa kuiwakilisha Baringo ya Kati. Rais Moi ni mdhamini mkubwa wa bunge na demokrasia yetu. Mtukufu Rais Daniel Arap Moi pia ndiye mbunge wa zamani zaidi katika bunge la Kenya. Amekuwa mjumbe wa bunge kwa zaidi ya miaka 25. Katika mojawapo ya hotuba zake muhimu mbele ya bunge, Rais Moi anasema,
Our task can be pursued honorably and successfully only upon the unshakable foundations of peace, love and unity. Thank you.
right, let's get back into the conversation, and we are looking at marriage and specifically how the younger generation is viewing it. You know, so does the younger generation rather still believe in marriage? That is the question we are asking, and we've been hearing this conversation of marriage in Abamba Mafala for the longest time. It's been happening. It's a conversation that began, I think, sometime last month, and it's still ongoing. People are still talking about it. So let's get to hear from the younger people. Allow me to introduce the people I have with me in studio. I've used the word people so many times. I'm not using it again. Allow me to introduce my guests today. We have on my immediate right, we have Eliud Ochieng. Eliud Ochieng is a journalism student. Karibu, welcome to the show.
Asante.
All right, and right next to Eliud, we have Emma Karitu, and Emma is a family pastor counselor, counseling psychologist, and mental health coach. Welcome to the show. We're going to be listening to this young generation. And then right next to her, we have Gloria V. Omondi, and Gloria is also a journalism student. Welcome. Right next to Gloria, we have Miriam Atieno. Miriam is also a journalism student. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Let's get into the conversation, and I want to begin with Emma. Not Emma, let me begin with Miriam. Miriam, just to get to hear from you, do you believe in marriage?
Okay. First and foremost, I would like to thank you for giving us this platform to share our views. Okay, personally, I still believe in marriage. Okay, believing in marriage comes from different aspects in terms of your background. I've been raised in a family where I've seen my dad and my mom together, and that harmony has made me to yearn and desire to have a family of my own in future, and still believe in marriage.
So for you, you're still in the battalion of marriage works.
Yeah.
Love it. All right, right next to Miriam, let's get to hear from you. That's Gloria. Do you believe in marriage?
Okay, for me personally, I think it's not just about like marriage, it's what kind of marriage. But I still believe in the idea of marriage because it's been an institution that's been there for long. So I think the younger generation is not rejecting marriage. We are just looking at what kind of marriage we are looking to get into.
Okay, I hear you on that. Eliud?
I believe in marriage, yeah. But now the perspective of what marriage is what's now different. You know, for our parents, marriage was like a must-do. Yeah, they believe that through marriage, it's a sign of stability and maturity. So for us, yes, we believe in it, but not in their perspective that it's a must-do.
Yeah.
You know, there's that age that if you
optional.
hit, you must be married.
Yeah, so that's what has changed now with your generation. The perspective of it, in that it's optional. It's not a must. It's not like I don't believe it, but I can choose not to get married or choose to get married.
Yeah.
Okay. Emma, from just what they've talked about, and you know, just looking at it on in a general view, do you think the perspective of marriage has changed over the years?
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me, first of all. And just to agree with these young, amazing people, I'm happy that you guys believe in marriage. Yeah, so much has happened in the society right now. If you look at the different generations, from the silent generation to the baby boomers, to the generation X, to the millennials, and then now to the Gen Zs, so much has happened. If you look at our African traditional setup, and even the different cultures, we see people are getting married at a very tender age. But currently, we have empowerment, especially the women empowerment has become like so much. And in the past, you could see the marriage institution was, people got to a certain, most of the people that I know older than me, they got married in their early 20s. They met at the university, or some of them just met in college, and they got married. But right now, because of everything that is happening in the society, there's been a shift. But what remains is that marriages don't change. I think I like what she has said. I think it's what kind of marriage are we looking at? So the things that have changed is that the world is also saying so much. The definition of marriage has changed. people are defining marriage differently as opposed to the original, like what marriage is supposed to be. Two people coming together for companionship, to raise a godly generation, and also for, I'm sure even for the other religions, yeah, coming together with a purpose, with a purpose, and not looking at what does this person have or what does she have, but coming together to start life together and raise up a godly generation.
Yeah.
So yes, things have changed, and it's also what is the world saying. Some things are louder. In our parents' generation, my parents are the silent generation. In their generation, people got married when they were pure, like they kept themselves until marriage, and that is the ideal. That is God's ideal. But you see, right now, sex is all over. So even getting married, people are not getting married. There's not that I desire to get married so that I cross over and do what I was not supposed to do. There's the space of purity. So much has happened, yeah? Sex is all over, and then Come We Stay is all over. So there's no that value, you know, based, put on marriage. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
What would make you, what would motivate you to want to get married?
I think for me, honestly, like right now, I think I'd hesitate towards getting married because a lot of things and factors get into this. Like, for example, you have like financial strains. Like right now, most of the youth are looking for jobs, so there's high unemployment rate. And then apart from this, you have so many cases on social media showing like marriages, divorces, yeah. So right now for me, the only thing that would help me change my mindset toward marriage is maybe financial stability, and if I can find someone who is emotionally stable and intelligent, yeah, that would push me towards it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you agree on the fact that, you know, social media and the internet and just the narratives that we're hearing more of marriages right now are, you know, taking us or leading us towards people not really believing in it, because the ones we are seeing are not the thriving ones. Most times the ones we are seeing are the ones that are failing, you know, are the ones that are having troubles and problems. Would you say that that is also something that is, you know, pushing the narrative?
Okay, I will agree with you on that, that social media is taking part in or contributing towards our hate or maybe the different perspectives on marriage. Okay, one thing I would like to say is that marriage is a beautiful thing, but it only becomes beautiful when you find the right person for you. Everyone here is the right person, but not for you. So if you find the right person for you, then I'm very sure you will enjoy your marriage. And I just want to tell people that let's not focus on what we see on the internet or social media. You know, marriage entails many things. Okay, there are many definitions of marriage, but to me, marriage is a mystery. We cannot really understand it. It goes beyond the definition that we see that marriage is people coming together, you know, giving birth and living. No, it goes beyond that. So when we shift our focus from what is being told on social media, then maybe, okay, what can I say about it? Let's shift our focus from what people say, the negative things people say on social media, and just focus on our, let me say, our parents. We saw them succeeding in marriages, and at that time, you, for example, in our community, when you found that you had a girl that you wanted, okay, you thought that she was suitable for marriage, you will just arrange yourself together with your boys. Then when this girl goes to the river maybe to fetch water for the family, she gets abducted and taken to the home. Then that's how marriage used to start in the past. And we saw the marriages, they have long lasted and they have succeeded. And we are the fruits of those successful marriages. So I just want us to shift our focus from those internet negative attitude towards marriage and just take it in a positive way.
Can I also add on the social media part? So on the social media part, there are trends like the soft life, where you find people try to conform to lifestyles that they're not used to, or that's not theirs. So you find maybe a girl will put pressure on the boy on a lifestyle that she wants, yet the boy is not financially stable to actually provide on that life. So in a way, social media negatively affects on marriage.
And actually, just from you speaking about that, from the interviews that were done on the streets on the same topic, there was a guy who was talking about, you know, for women, we don't love unconditionally.
Yeah.
We love you men conditionally. Like there is something, are you doing this for me to love you? But for men, you love women unconditionally. That's from what he said. Do you think that's the case?
Yeah, that's the case.
Really?
Yeah.
Oni kama unaweza pendwa tu bure? Au ambi wangu inakupenda bure?
Ni mbaya, haiwezekani.
Haiwezi. So lazima kukuwe na kitu yenye it's side to it.
Yeah, you know, it has shifted from, you know, during our folks' time, marriage was like gender role. It was known that men were to provide everything. But now we are entering into a phase where marriage has turned to a partnership. Yeah, we go for the dual 50-50 where we try to provide both of us. So you'll find that some of the ladies are still conformed to that previous marriage of our folks and some of the millennials. So in a way, we don't actually click. So you'll find that those are some of the factors that actually hinder or deter marriage.
So for you, you believe in 50-50?
Exactly.
Hey, anyway, just from your point of view, Emma, from what we're just talking about with him, like, you know, there's that conditioning, and there's that, like, you have to be this for you to get this. You have to do this for you to be loved like this. And I think this is something I've heard with most young men talking about, that we are never really just allowed to be, like, there are so many conditions put in place, specifically in marriage, and that's why they feel like marriage does not work for them.
So what I can say is that marriages should not have conditions. I like what she's saying, yeah? It's sort of like the way she's saying it's a mystery. When you understand the why am I getting married in the first place? If you're getting married because of material gain, if you're getting married because this girl is a figure 8, I mean, all the wrong reasons, that marriage will not work. But when you look at yourself, you know, human nature is very selfish. We're always selfish, like, what is it for me here? Yeah. But all of us, we came out of a marriage, I believe. We came out of a relationship. And if this generation says that we don't want to get married because of A, B, C, D, I think it's selfish, because I got married. If my parents would not have gotten married, I would not be here. So when we understand the reason why we are getting married and what does marriage entail, and I've had somebody talk about provision, that was the setup, yeah, like a man should provide. But when you look at the reality on the ground right now, who are in the corner offices? We're having so many ladies who are managers. They're the ones holding big positions. They're the ones, you know, God has blessed them, yeah? So if I like Eliud here, and Eliud is, I can see he has potential. He's a journalism student, and I can see he has potential. I should not look at him at the now, but I should look at the potential in him. So if I really genuinely love someone, and now when you talk about love, there are very many definitions of love. But now, as a pastor, I'll talk about the biblical definition. If I love someone, it should be unconditional. It should be unconditional. Nimependa somebody hivi, and that is what I want. So the two of us come together and we try and work it out. There's no 50-50. If I'm earning 100,000 and my husband is not earning anything, we should be able to say, this is our money. You know, there's a quote that people, when you do our couples retreat, I serve at ICC Nairobi Church. Every year we have an annual couples retreat. And marriages are working, by the way. The marriages online, most of them that are being talked about, but I know so many marriages that are working. Yet I also know there are divorces that are happening, and it still goes back to the why somebody got married. Back to my point. So I was saying, if I've even lost my thought trail, yeah? If somebody loves you unconditionally, it means you're coming together. It's not my money, it is our money. And also the other thing that is why people are struggling to get married is, you want to get married to change somebody. You can never change a person. If I know my husband is called Gilbert. If I know Gilbert is like this, I will not work hard towards changing him, but I will like work on myself, because now you get frustrated trying to change that person, and yet you cannot. It's only God or the Holy Spirit that can change that person, or that person to decide I want to change. So marriage should be unconditional, and the aspect, and also how has our backgrounds. So many, I work a lot with young people, and most of them come from broken families, very broken families. The parents have separated or divorced, so they are looking at that. And I always tell parents, the first school of marriage that the children are observing is your own marriage. She said she's come from a very good marriage, a family setup. That's why she desires to get married. So if our backgrounds have really affected us, but if we're able to work on it, let me work on my background and not peg my marriage to my parents' marriage. If theirs didn't work, I have to be very intentional and say, mine has to work. And also the thing of provision, there are many other roles that a man can play, apart from providing. You know, you can actually be in a marriage, and the lady is the one who's bringing the money in, and you put it there, and the man will, maybe God has given him good financial management techniques, he can still manage that finance, but the two of you have to, who is stronger at finances, what other roles can the man play? Leadership. It does, like, you need to offer leadership as a man. You need to offer priesthood. You are the one to lead your family in terms of matters faith. So there are many other roles that a man can play, but when you look only at provision, we are losing the point. Supposing your husband maybe is in Dubai, for example, every month he sends you $1 million, but he's never home. You can stay even for eight years. So many. Where is that space of the children don't know him? You as a wife, you don't know the person. So we need to shift from provision is good, but it is not the only thing that determines a marriage. So I believe marriage should be unconditional. The moment it's conditional, you will be frustrated, because marriage is a covenant. It's not a contract, but people have made it a contract. But it's a covenant, because you can meet and you are doing well financially, then you lose that job. Does it mean you leave your man or you leave your wife? No. It should be unconditional, Amia, until death do us part.
Yeah, that's how it was intended to be from the first time. Now, Gloria, you had talked about provision when we began. And, you know, there's something that Emma has said, you know, as a woman, from her point of view, tumetoka pale kwa pesa yangu ni yangu, yako ni yetu. So even yako ni yenu nyote. Would you be open to that? Are you of the same idea? Ama, when you were talking about provision, you know, you generally just mean the man needs to provide fully?
Okay, from what she has said, I actually took the point that marriage is a partnership. So for me, a partnership means that if we come together, what works, what is good for both of us, we are looking for what is good for both of us. So like she said, if we have like strengths, we use them both in our marriage. So I don't think, okay, this goes, I'm against 50-50, honestly. I'm against 50-50, honestly. But if we are in a marriage and my strength is bringing financial support to the family and he has his strengths, I'll be okay with that, because we are both looking out for each other. I'd be okay with that.
Yeah. You also seem to agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. You know, we are
I'm actually surprised.
Right now we are in a world where everyone is empowered. So if I have the strength to provide for my family when my husband is down, why not? I don't think it's a 50-50 thing. We can go with whoever has that strength to provide. Let him or her provide, as long as we live harmoniously. And how we started in agreement.
Well, I think this is a topic that we should have on its own, the 50-50 topic. We'll plan for that. Now, there's the popular narrative that has been, you know, said on social media, the one that I mentioned earlier, marriage ubamba mafala. I'm sure you've all bumped into that conversation. So when they say marriage ubamba mafala, from your point of view, where una pick nini hapo?
Marriage ubamba mafala.
And do you believe marriage ni ya mafala?
Not really. Marriage, first of all, marriage is an institution. Where two come together So basically, those who say that Ubamba Mafala, most of them, you find that in a way they have suffered, or they have emotionally they have suffered from a relationship. That's why they try to actually change people's mind on what marriage is. So sasa kama we mwenyewe hujaingia kwa maybe a relationship, but then you hear what they say, you know, in a way it deters you, it gives you a different mindset. I believe they are just those who have not healed from their previous relationships, so they are trying to, in a way, affect others. Yeah.
Yeah. And Emma, there's a time we also had a similar conversation, and there's a lady who mentioned that it can be, yes, in a Bamba Mafala, but not in the way that people are looking at it, that you are foolish to be in that marriage. But it is in the sense of, when you're in a marriage, it's all about compromise. You know, maybe that's the eye that they're looking at it as. Not that people are foolish to be in marriage, but just because when you're in marriage, you need to compromise on things. So for you to be able to do that, inabidi saa zingine unakuwa kama fala, so that you don't question everything to just avoid small fights. Could that be, you know?
What I can say is that marriage is dying to the self. Yeah. Remember I said earlier on that human nature is very selfish. But when you come together, like for example, when I got married, I didn't get married early. I got married when I was 32, and it's been 19 years, yeah? So when I got married, I was so independent. Like paying my rent, sorting myself out financially, I could take care of myself, yeah? But then I have to, this man comes along, God bless me with this, so we have to come together. And when we come together, you look at the bigger picture. When I used to go home, I was lonely. I've had a very stressful day at work, and I have no one to sound to. So when you look at it, it's something beautiful, yeah, that you come together and you do life together, because it can be so lonely when you're alone. But in terms of that phrase, kubamba wafala, in terms of that, I think I don't agree with it, but I can say a man and a woman are very different. There are gender differences, yeah. The way a man processes things, the way a woman processes things, yeah, is very different. So sometimes there's he's a psychologist, and he's also a pastor. He wrote a book, and he said that in marriage, 69% of the things you may not really resolve because of the differences in opinions, because of the backgrounds. So my mentor normally tells me, be the fool, but you're not foolish. Which means there are things you're not able to resolve. There are things you're not able to deal with. But are they really worthy? Are they worthy to bring the relationship, like affect the relationship, yeah? So in a way, it's really looking at yourself, reflecting on yourself, and asking yourself, am I 100%? Why am I expecting the other person to be 100%? So there are things that you may just compromise and say it's okay. It's not such a big deal. There are things that you can just say, it's never that serious, yeah. And when we do a lot of premarital counseling, and one of the things I tell the young people, there are things they are just neither here nor there. For example, if somebody your husband just throws the clothes there, it's just ni manguo tu, chukua tu utoe, ama uziwache hapo, zisikupatie stress. Let me tell you, some things as you age, as you do marriage, they are really neither here nor there. But of course, there are those other big things that you really need to sit down and have conversations. So I don't think I agree with that statement that marriage ni ya mafala. But I think I like what Eliud is saying. Maybe somebody has gone through some pain, and now because of that, actually most of the things on social media, even they post their whole story on social media. Oh, we are doing this, most of it is not true. Most of it is not true. Yeah. But if you see people who are just living their lives well, they're doing so well, they don't put it out there. So I don't think I believe in that. And also it could be the compromise of values. Yeah. It could be the compromise of values. When you say marriage is mafala, I know I'm a counseling psychologist, and I've met people who tell me, why should I just have one person when I can have Several, yeah. Maybe that is where the phrase is coming from, like I don't care sort of attitude.
Yeah.
But if you really love yourself, you need to have this one person and do life with them. Yes.
Okay, before we get into that, as our viewer, remember you can get to be part of this conversation. You can call us and talk to us live. The number is 0716-103-301. We would love to also get to hear from you. What do you think about marriage specifically with the younger generation? Get to talk to us. We would love to hear from you. Let me get back to this. There's also another narrative, and this is on, yes, we can have a long-term relationship, but we don't need to officiate it. You know, we don't need to make this a marriage. We can just be living together, but I have my home and I have my home somewhere else, but we can live together. Alafu pia tukiboeshana, kila mtu anaweza enda, alafu tena tutarudi. Like, there's also that, I'm sure you've heard of it, right? Whereby people are saying, now I would be open, but not to officiate it and let it become a marriage. I just want us to, we cohabit, we just live together, but hakuna restrictions, hakuna nini. There's that too. I'm sure you've heard of it. So what's your take on that?
I wouldn't support that, honestly. Because for me, I think, okay, why would you guys stay together if you're not going to get married? It doesn't make sense for me, personally. Because that would be like friendship. That would be like friendship. For me, I think marriage is a security.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're planning on investing your emotions on someone, you should see at least a future with them. Because why would you stay, let's say for like 3 months, 8 months, a year, like that's a waste of time. Then you'll end up resenting the other person, then you'll move with that resentment to another new relationship, and you'll be like, marriage is not fun, marriage is a bad thing. So that's the perspective it's going to give after years. That's my take.
So you're not for it? Yeah. Miriam?
Okay, to me, the concept of marriage is that two will come together and become one. So when you become one person, why should you live separately? And again, I think the concept of cohabitation comes in a way that people fear responsibilities. They know that when they stay together, you need to be responsible for one another. There's a time when you need to exercise patience due to someone else's behavior. So people fear that. That's why I think they ought into cohabitation. Yeah, but to me it's not, I don't support it.
As the gentleman in this, you know, in this team, let me call it a team for now. As a gentleman here, would you be open for such?
100%.
You'd be open for it?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more. Why? Or how does that work?
We also call it the test drive. or the trial phase.
Okay, so you're just testing just to see.
Yeah, so you know, during this time you get to know each other's flaws. So in a way you will avoid cases of scenarios of divorce, you know, such kind of things. So there's a period that you two will get to know each other. So mnajuana vizuri to avoid the cases of divorce yenye mtakuwa mnaishi hata around 8 years.
So kujuana vizuri ni mnaishi pamoja?
See, they come, we stay. We don't actually. Yeah, we call it also the situationship. Yeah, we don't give it labels. So in a way, mnajuana kwanza to avoid cases of divorce where unapata people have stayed together for around 15 years down the line. Then you hear that now they're getting a divorce.
So maybe in this situationship where sasa imekuwa mnaishi pamoja na bado si amjadefine lakini mnaishi pamoja, how long is it going to take you? Then you decide that, okay, now nimekujua ya kutosha. Because as you say, there are people who actually get married and stay married for 15 years and still get a divorce. So wewe ambaye unafanya mic testing, ukika like your time frame ni ngapi ya how long?
Haifai kupita ania. Yeah. Because sasa past a year now you'll be wasting each other's time. I believe within a span of a year you're able to read someone, to get to know each other better, whether you click or not. Yeah.
There's that. I would love to hear from you. What do you make of that?
You know, let me say this to the young people who are aspiring to get married. you can never know someone 100%. Yeah, I know couples who've been married for 30 years, and somebody will say, "Wow, I didn't know that about my husband." So, you have to test mic, and how many mics will you test? Yeah. Yeah. So I would want to, like, it's a faith journey. Yeah. I think the most important thing is to understand the why you're getting married, and also understand the gender differences, understand what is the goal. And you know, when you do marriages, when you officiate people's weddings, we say for better, for worse.
Yeah.
You know, in sickness, in health, for richer, for poorer. So it's something that you're doing by faith. And this test, you will never get the right
Allow me
test.
to cut you short a bit. Let's pick our first caller. We have Collins from Kisumu. Collins, good morning.
Morning to you, madam.
I'm very well, thank you. Get into the conversation. What's your take? Do you feel like the younger generation now does not believe in marriages?
No, my input is this. Thank you for having this reasonable discussion over the media. My discussion is this. I see there is a gap in now the relationship among the young people. I see if there are parents lack in marriage, it renders the relationship for the whole community vulnerable. Basically, its provision in terms of finance, emotional, and other aspects of marriage, demand and value. Let us also work out the soft skills of young people, i.e. communication, decision making, CPC. Also, again, don't react to situations, but know how to respond to challenges so that we are able to see the gap and build our relationship more stronger in the future.
Okay, Collins, we've had, so according to Collins, he's saying we work on the values first. Before even anything else, just work on the values first. And this is individual. You work on your values, and then as the other person just works on their value, and then now when you come together, probably things will work better. Yeah.
Yeah, values play, I agree with Collins 100%. Values play a very major role in marriage. And what I normally tell young people, what are you looking for in a spouse? What kind of person are you looking for? Yeah, and you need to write down those qualities. Yeah, and there are those ones that are no-go zones. Yeah, like for example, for believers, the Bible says, "Do not be equally yoked with an unbeliever." So there are those no-go zones. So you can write up to 10. And values, are your values the same? Do you have the same faith? Do you have the same like you can? It's different from individual to individual. Yeah. So you can write 10. You can write 10 qualities that you're looking for in a spouse as a young person. But then somebody can have 7 out of 10 because all of us have fallen short of God's glory. None of us is perfect. There's no perfect person. Yeah. But there are those 3. You can say these are deal breakers. Yeah. And it varies from an individual to an individual. Somebody and I've realized there's a couple that I was working with. They were dating, and this girl, the guy had a son from another relationship, and the lady said, "Me, there's no way. I love him so much. He's a great guy. Like for me, that guy he was just great. If I was single, maybe, you know, a good person who just." Something just happened in his past. And I was looking at this girl, I just had to dig deeper, but for her, it was a no-go zone, somebody with a child. So when I did further interrogation, now with her, she opened up and she said, you know, my mom, when I was a teenager, my dad brought in another child from his relationship somewhere. So it affected how she felt loved by her father. You see how our backgrounds affect our decision making. So for her, I told her maybe you should have gone for counseling to heal, because now this is determining her future because of what happened in her family setup. So you can have the list of what you want in a spouse, but then there are those no-go zones.
Okay.
Yeah.
We have yet another caller. We have Reverend Muturi. Reverend, if you can hear us, good morning.
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Kindly mute your TV.
Morning to you. I wanted to make my comment.
Yes.
Okay, please. Okay, please. I want to make my comment in regard to the decision of making a choice on marriage. Marriage, there should be no chance of trying to test and see whether it will work. First of all, you don't marry someone you have not related with to some level. So you will not know the person 100%, but as the counselor said, it is both intellectual and emotional. You have to know someone to some level and get the main values, like, let's say you are a Christian, someone who is a believer, or rather someone who has the values that you desire to have in marriage. So when you start a relationship, the first thing is the agreement that we like one another, because you must love one another first. And then there's the moment of trying to talk about the life you desire to live together. So you reach to a level that you have the main things which you agree. The rest of the issues that should scare you, you resolve them as life goes by. There is nothing fixed for a working marriage or not working marriage. Marriage is a mystery. You just work out your marriage. And number two, for life to carry on, you need to raise children in a family institution. The values you like can only be propagated in marriage, not just living with people. Let me mention the issue of sexuality. Where when you are living together, you are becoming closer emotionally. It might result to other things like maybe getting children with a person you have not purpose to live with. So you raise other challenges in life. So the best thing is making a decision and then agreeing on the main things. Then those are the minor things. Even if you got the very person you are calling the best partner will applaud even along the life. Even the marriages that appear to be working, they have issues they resolve day by day because the main things are already taken care of.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rev. Rev is saying every marriage has its own, issues here and there, because hata nyumbani tu kama siblings ambao tumekuwa raised pamoja, we still have conflicts here and there. So imagine someone who was brought up in a very different way, and there's no way you can just be perfect all the time. There has to be conflicts here and there, or things just coming up. It's you deciding you're working on it because you're here for this. We need to be winding up, unfortunately, because of time, and maybe if I can just get your final remarks on the same, beginning with you as we move, and then maybe Emma, you can let us know tukimaliza tu, why were arranged marriages working more than sisi saizi ambao tunajichagulia wenyewe. But let's take your final remarks.
Okay, tukimalizia tamalizia na msemo wa wahenga. Najua Gen Z sasa wanapinga wahenga sana, but
wahenga wanahema.
But wanasema ukiona vyaelea jua vimeundwa. Okay, marriages work in terms of how you build up your marriage. So tusidhani like marriage ni something like unaenda tu hivyo na itakuwa tu vizuri, unaingia itakuwa tu vizuri. You must work on it. So I'll just encourage them. Marriage still works. To see nini na hizo negative opinions.
Thank you, Miriam. Gloria?
Okay, for me, I still stand for marriage is a beautiful thing. So it's still on the effort we put. Okay, you can decide to choose someone because of their values, and that is mostly the foundation. But over time, people change. You also have friends. You knew them at this age, but they keep on evolving. So when you get into marriage, you should have a perspective that you're still going to get to know this person over a long period of time. So marriage is still a good thing. Just focus on your values and how you're going to choose your partner, but it's still a beautiful thing.
Love it. Elliot?
I'll just say that marriage still works, only that you shouldn't rush into it, not unless you are 100% sure.
Testing.
Yeah, you can do a test live.
All right, let's finish with you.
Thank you. So I think I really like that I think all of you are Gen Zs,
Yes,
millennials. Yeah, I really like that all of them agree that marriage is a good thing. And you know, just back to your question, marriages worked, arranged marriages worked. Even when you go back to the Bible and you look at the story of Isaac and Rebecca, the father to Isaac sent him to look for a wife. And when he went there, the lady just, and he told God, if the woman who will serve me water and serve the animals, that will be my wife. There was no dating. There was nothing like dating, and she did that. So if we understand our roles, why we are getting married, and I think the people who have arranged marriages, they understand. If you look at the Indian community, if you look at the Muslim community, they understood. They understood what marriage is. But for us, marriage has been diluted with modernization. So I believe marriages did work because people understood their role as a wife, your role as a husband. People understood. But for now, everything has been corrupted, and I think that is why the young people are feeling like marriages don't work. But also my parting shot is just to encourage the younger generation that marriage is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing, and as Eliud says, if you get that person, so there's a place of prayer, like ask God, who is it that is my spouse? Wherever they are, we pray for that divine connection, and also for them to read books about marriage. Prepare yourself well in advance. When you hear there are workshops about for singles who are dating, go for those workshops, read books, prepare yourself, because sometimes we really want to get married and we are focusing so much on that person. What about yourself? Have you worked on yourself so that you're the good wife or you're the good husband that the other person will get?
All right.
Yes.
Thank you so much. To all of you for joining us on this conversation. It has been a good conversation, though I feel it has been really short, but anyway, we can always find time to continue with it. And for you who has been watching us from home, we want to say thank you for staying with us, and also for those who've contributed to the conversation, asante sana. This is where we end it, and I love that it has ended on a note that marriage works. So yeah, let's not kill the family unit. My name is Vivian Degwa. Do enjoy the rest of your viewing, and see you tomorrow, God willing. Goodbye.
Got the fear of missing out? Want to keep up with all the latest entertainment news and latest celebrity gossip? From the latest rumors to popping events to the newest fashion trends, here is where you get all the tea or juice when it comes to entertainment, and you get it served on time. All that and so much more on Grapevine every single Monday only on KBC Channel 1. Remember, if you did not see it on Grapevine, then it most probably never happened.
Friday night again.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice,
we have to do it twice.
She has gone through it all, having had to get her leg amputated at a tender age toward away a cancerous tumor that was threatening her life.
Yeah, born with a condition called congenital mutation, whereby after 3 months they discovered I had a cancer. So they had to amputate my leg, and that's how I survived. And then I started using, from young age, is when I started using prosthetic. And that's how we cope up with the life.
And Duko's family were then forced to sacrifice their needs and wants in order to help her survive.
Growing up in the village and being raised by a single mother was a bit challenging. Juu saa zingine unapata si mimi peke yangu. I have 2 older brothers ambao at that time walikuwa wanasoma, pia mimi nasoma, and the medication na prosthetic so was a bit challenging. Sometimes we had to do a rampe, ikafika tu mahali like watu wanachoka, kila wakati, and at least that time nilikuwa na change mguu after 3 months 2 months na change. The more I grow, hata kama na grow na 1 inch lazima ni change hiyo mguu juu usipo change una lean na ina affect kidney zako, so you may turn up with kidney failure. So that is what we were preventing, na kila wakati ni kubadilisha mguu, kubadilisha. So hiyo kucope up na hiyo situation was a bit challenging.
And survive she did after getting the help she needed to even get an opportunity to go to school.
I studied in the special school in Joytown Secondary School. Hapo ndio nilijua sport. In primary nilikuwa kwa special unit wenye ilikuwa tuna walemavu, na hapo tulikuwa tunafanya sport but si mingi kama Joytown. Then pale primary school nilikuwa tunafanya chess na scrabble. Hiyo wakati nilikuja Joytown ndio nikaingia kwa hizi multiple sports, na after kutoka huku nje nika specialize na sport.
That's where she found her bearing in sports to participate in as many disciplines as she could manage.
Okay, I normally do chess, I do badminton, I do wheelchair basketball, I do table tennis, and I do Scrabble. Yes, and above all, chess and badminton are the best for me.
At least for para chess, she's able to sit down and play, unlike in para badminton, where there is a lot of movement, and that is where the right prosthetic leg comes in handy.
This leg, I got it last year in the auto box, in a lock, as you can see, in a lock. Whereby unapata ukivaa ina lock, uwezi anguka, ukianguka utaumia, hiyo mguu itatoka, hii stamp yako itoke venye unaweza umia. So what I normally do, una press your button, ina unlock, then unatoa hivi, then wakati wa kuvaa you just pull hiyo silicone liner, unaifold, unaeka tena, unaiweka, then hii ndio lock yenye inaenda pale. As you can see hapa ndani kuna shimo. As you can see hapa ndani kuna shimo. Hiyo shimo ndio inakuja kupatana na hii ndio lock. Ukiweka hii mguu hivi, si unaona, ukiweka unaona hii inazunguka, ndio ina lock.
But that does not deter her from pursuing her dream for play. She does, hoping for the best, and the best did come when she got an opportunity to represent the country outside the region and come back with a bronze in the SL4, which is the classification for those who are able to stand.
Badminton nimekuwa Uganda, nimesafiri Uganda, nimesafiri Egypt na natarajia kwenda Dubai. Uganda I didn't win but my ranking was in Uganda ranking. Niliweza kupata ranking na classification whereby in Uganda I was ranked world 45 na nikaenda Egypt nikakuwa ranked 31, world 31 and in chess mimi ni Kenya 1 na bado tunang'ang'ana juu ratings lazima zipande, lazima upate ung'ang'ane.
Mary Nduko is more determined than ever to improve on that performance, hoping to make her way to the Paralympics in the near future or the Chess Olympiad.
For the chess, I've been Belgrade. I was supposed to go in Malawi. That was my first tournament. I had issues